Hello, everybody. We are getting started right now. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the last few touches here, and we'll get going. They can't hear you yet because you were talking when I was talking, so I have to keep you muted. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I got the rundown here. I've got this. Let's test this. Here's what we need to do. Green really makes your eyes pop too. All right, I'm gonna bring you guys up. There you go.
Oh right, that poem said I had blue eyes was a lie.
It's like the dragon. It's like the white dragon.
Yeah, they can't hear me, but I think Jeff knows that.
Yeah. I just brought you up actually right there. You're good. It's fine. All right, that's good. Fix this.
Did you do it?
No, I'm not ready to do that yet. Hang on.
Check us on TikTok before we get banned. Before the U.S. Senate bans TikTok.
Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, I saw
a bunch of places are talking about how TikTok is gonna have to go away or something. It's weird.
It is weird. it is funny.
Yes.
They all do be like, does TikTok have access to my Wi-Fi?
TikTok's on that 5G giving me the cancers.
And the guy was like, if TikTok is connected to your Wi-Fi, yes.
Okay, all right, let's see here. What else do I need? I just need that.
You need to tweet.
And then I need a tweet.
How do you determine the age of your user? We use age date. What's that? We asked their age. Oh, that's funny.
Got myself some kind of southern tier French toast imperial ale. Seems to be very strong, so we'll see how this goes.
Oh fuck yeah, let's get shit face.
Got to numb the pain of knowing I could be playing Resident Evil 4 right now, but instead I'm hearing Christian yelling about something.
Quantum physics?
I don't know. You yelled about so many. I feel like I've been talking to you for 5 minutes. You've yelled about so many things.
I just yell about quantum physics, and I said I was sad about Lance Reddick, and you laugh at me when I said that.
Yeah, I laughed. It's funny to me.
Just turn Christian down here a little bit. There we go.
Wow.
All right.
Oh, baby.
Oh no. Okay.
This is gonna be a wild episode.
Oh no. I'm concerned. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start the show, everybody. Sorry for the delay.
I might be having 2 of these tonight. That's
oh
good.
no. Okay.
No.
All right.
They only sell them in a 4-pack because they're so high in alcohol. But wow, that tastes good.
Going to a sex shop and shit.
It almost tastes more like waffles than French toast, to be honest, but very good.
All right. I'm gonna start us off here. Let's see here. Okay. Mike,
Not an IPA.
if I count us in, we're gonna be good to go. You ready?
I'm very good to go.
All right, that's what I love to hear. All right, I am gonna count us in, and then we're gonna get started. Chat, you could hear the music earlier, right? There it is. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it up even. All right, we're gonna get started right now. 5, 4, 3. You're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Game S Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world of games so you never have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeff Grubb, and with me is
Mike Menotti.
In today's episode, there's a cool Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, Counter-Strike 2 is real, and Redfall might not always be online. But first, Mike, how are you doing?
Better now. I got this French toast beer. It's delicious. But I don't know. I could be playing Resident Evil 4 right now, and instead I'm doing this with you. But that's okay. I'll play that later. Very
Yeah, I mean,
excited
listen, I don't want to talk to you either. I want to be playing Resident Evil 4 as well. What
Yeah,
there's
that's
a,
fair.
when is the Diablo 4? Is it going into open beta on everything, or did that already happen?
There's an open beta this weekend. Yes,
right.
Like everyone
That's
can
starting
play it.
soon as well, right? They're like in the
Yes,
next
sir.
day or
Yeah, all these things, and instead I had to spend Saturday hanging out with you.
I'm like,
Oh, I turned 40. Oh, big deal.
I mean, that is how the invite had said. It's like, oh boy, oh,
That
it's
actually
the
is, like,
big one.
That is your way. It's like, I'm really sorry to inconvenience everybody, but if you would like to hang out for my 4th birthday, it's like, yes, Jeff, yes, we'll
Yeah.
hang out for your 40th birthday.
That's exactly right. I just, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a pretty good time. We're gonna
Have
go.
fun.
We're gonna do like an arcade thing that has a bowling alley in it. I figure maybe we could bowl as well. When's the last time you've been bowling?
Recently, I went bowling with the kids a couple weekends
Yeah, you're
ago,
from Ohio,
yeah.
so that makes sense. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
What else are we gonna do? We bowl all the time. Do the other states not bowl anymore? Do they
I
only
don't
do
think
that
so.
at like ironic bars?
Yeah, right. Yes, there's like weird bars that like there's a bowling alley in here. That's strange. That gives this bar a lot of character, and we're just like that's just normal for us. We just go to those places.
I'm sorry, this beer is just freaking delicious.
Okay, so
Gosh.
tell us about it. Where's it from? What's it
it's
supposed to taste like, and what does it actually taste like?
It's from Southern Tier, which is like New York based, but they have a lot of breweries around the East Coast. They have one in Cleveland. It's a French toast imperial ale. And it has like those breakfasty flavors of like the sugary bread and like the maple syrup, a little bit of that butter. The thing that does make this French toast though is like, you know, that kind of burnt sugar flavor. That's
Sure.
like the afternote. When I'm done, like when I'm done drinking it, I still have that. It's also it's also relatively strong, so that's nice too. I'm enjoying this beer.
All right, we're going to let Mike enjoy his beer. First, though, I want to thank everybody for joining us. You can get more from Mike and me by joining the Discord at GameMess.net. If you want to ask a question, you could drop a super chat during the show here on YouTube. We will read all those before the show is out. Thank you to Carlos Ain, who is Insane in the Rain Music on YouTube, for the use of our theme songs. We are on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and wherever pods are caught. Give us a good rating wherever you're listening. It helps people find the show. What really helps while we're live, though, is that thumbs up here on YouTube. We like to get that over 100 likes here before we're done each night. So go ahead and hit that like button.
Lately. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you to our mods who are very helpful. You can support us by going to patreon.com/GameMess. That if you do that, that's going to get you access to the private channels inside our Discord. That's going to make you a podcast producer. You have a little bit of say whenever we do fun things on the show. You're the ones that we go to. You also get the monthly Q&A, 1 month early access to our Jeopardy game, which we're going to be recording here in the next week or so. Participation in our monthly game club discussions, something we are also going to be discussing here pretty soon. I need to finish Minish Cap, and I'm going to. And of course,
Minish Cap also, and that's rough since I want to be playing Resident Evil 4.
Yep, the plan is like I might do like a birthday stream at some point this weekend. I'll play Minish Cap for that. And of course, the if you go ahead and join that Patreon, or actually if you join here on YouTube, or if you support either Mike or me on Twitch,
We figured that out.
We figured that out. You can get all of our shows ad free. I put them right there into the podcast producers channel, and I always ping everybody. It's a download version. But if you're a Patreon member, you get the RSS feed, which just everything updates automatically. It's very convenient. All right, Mike, I got some big topics of the week I want to discuss. Figured I'd throw some at you and see what you have to think. What do you think?
Throw them at me. Let's see what sticks. I'm a sticky boy.
This cool Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game kind of got. I think I was doing the show with Jan this morning, and Jan's like, "No, hey, well, there's one more story." As I'm like stopping the show to like go do the poll, and he's like, "One more story. Someone put this in channel." I didn't see it at all.
I didn't even wear this shirt because of that. This is just a coincidence. I got my Leonardo shirt on for those listening.
It's a good shirt.
It is.
So apparently this game is going to be based on The Last Ronin, which is like apparently a very cool. I've never read it. I don't know much about it other than what Jan said. He's like, there's one turtle left.
This.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah,
I heard about
this
before.
Comic before too. Like just like it's supposedly like the best like turtle story. It's in the future. There's only one turtle left, and he has all weapon. And the kind of like the fun thing is you don't know which one it is.
Oh, okay. That's why Jan wouldn't tell me. Okay,
That's
cool.
why I was terrified when you were covering this on Game This Mornings that like you would like read it and just say, because that's like I don't know what it is because I didn't read the story. But that's like the cool thing, right? Like who could it be?
Right,
Like, maybe it makes sense. It's Raphael, but maybe Michelangelo's heart has hardened, right?
Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, I'm gonna read this and no one spoil it in chat actually. If we can avoid that, because we've got a lot of people who are very concerned about this in the previous chat on Giant Bomb this morning. So
I will be.
Let's spare people where we can, and Mike will be upset too. Okay, so the game is going to be based on that, and it's going to be like God of War 2018, I guess is what they're saying. That's
So it's gonna be like Final Fantasy 16.
It's gonna be like Final Fantasy 16. Finally, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Final Fantasy like. This sounds very cool. I don't know if they've really announced enough details for me to buy into this thing will ever actually happen. But hey, they're talking about it, and I guess it's from Paramount's, which Paramount like owns Nickelodeon, which owns Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles now. It's from their gaming division. Again, I got this information pretty late, and I didn't look into it too much afterward. That I don't know if they announced a developer or anything like that. It sounds pretty cool. I'm down. I want to see what this actually can end up looking like, and I think we're at the right point with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that you could do a game like this, and it could be very big. I think. What do you think?
Yeah, it's been a while since they really gave it a good try with a AAA TMNT game. I remember there were so many hopes when Platinum made that one the 360 era, and that was when they were doing good stuff, like Bayonetta, and they did that Transformers game that everybody really liked, right?
Yeah, people were pretty big fans of that Transformers game. Yeah.
Then their TMNT game was just no good. It just didn't really work out. There's a lot of mediocre TMNT games. We got the great retro throwback recently with Splinter's Revenge. But come on, this franchise is so cool. It absolutely screams to get a good big AAA adaptation, kind of like what Batman got with Arkham Knight a while back. Yeah, let's go. This seems like a good idea. I know people hear God of War, they maybe worry like it's gonna be super talky, blah blah blah. I mean, look, think about God of War in terms of being an action game, and it's a very good action game, and that makes a lot of sense for this.
Yeah, so I think this is pretty cool. We'll see what this actually turns into. I am guessing we probably don't actually see much from this game for 3-4 years, right? I mean, if we're at this point of it,
for a while. By the way, I said Splinter's Revenge, which is funny. It's Shredder's Revenge.
Splinter deserves to get revenge too.
Yeah. Everyone can get revenge as long as I keep getting my French toast beer. Yeah, I bet it'll be a while. I just hope it's real because that's a really cool one.
Yeah, I would be down. Counter-Strike 2 is real, Mike.
The rumors are real.
The rumors were real. It's basically what we thought it would be, an update to Counter-Strike Go, and it in fact that's a free update. So if you already own the game, you're just going to get Counter-Strike 2. It's going to turn into Counter-Strike 2. The 2 indicates that there are some pretty significant changes. I'm not a Counter-Strike guy. I've played maybe 20-ish hours total in my life. I enjoyed what I played of it, but it's just not one that I've ever really learned the ins and outs of. The things that they are highlighting when they talk about what's new, there's things like the smoke can be interacted with and move, and you can throw grenades at it and it'll disperse the smoke. That sounds pretty cool. There are things Christian was saying, like you could see the arc of the grenades before you throw them, so you can you don't have to learn exactly how the grenades behave. At least this is how it's working in early test. And then they are moving beyond the tick rate, they said. And the tick rate is like we know from a lot of other games, like when the server updates. And I think the tick rate for most games like this, Counter-Strike included, was like about 20 per second. So it would update like once every 20th of a second. And it's like, and they're trying to go past that. So like actually, no matter when you're doing something, the server is going to get notified and know right away instantly. And this will remove a lot of like high level play that was possible because if you are really good at knowing how to do things with the tick rate, things people say like tick peaking, I think, or something like that. And it's
tick
like,
peaking.
I don't understand it. I kind of get, I think maybe like that, I would get what it's suggesting there in terms of like peeking around a corner and using information the other player can't possibly have, I guess, but I don't really know anything about it.
This is the kind of stuff that happens when people have been playing the same game for like 10 years, huh?
Yes,
you
exactly.
Get tick peaking.
Yeah, and that's there, and it's that long and millions of people because it's a hugely popular game. So it's like there is going to be a percentage of the audience that's pretty sizable that is very, very good at it. As far as Valve's concerned, this is them ensuring that the game is easy to update going forward because they've moved it to Source 2, an engine that is relatively old at this point. Actually, Source 2 is. When did Source 2 first get used? Was that Half-Life 2 Episode 2, or was that later than that?
No, it wasn't yet. I think Dota 2 is the first thing to get Source 2. I don't think it launched as Source 2, but
no, but it got updated in 2015 to Source 2.
Alex must be Source 2, of course. But
yeah. Yes, totally. Okay, so
absolutely.
Source 2, yes. Dota 2 got updated to Source 2 in 2015. So, but I was going to say Titanfall used Source 2, but I think it actually just used Source 1.
I think it just used Source.
Yeah, just use Source.
Like Apex Legends just uses, I don't
Source,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, just Source, yeah.
Yep, and then they used Unreal for the Star Wars game. But yeah. I'm gonna check this out. I'm ready to play some more Counter-Strike. This would be a good reason to check back in. I think a lot of people will be, so it might be an easier time to like get into the fold of things. But yeah, I don't know. You've played some Counter-Strike in your time. I know this was not exact. You were more a Team Fortress Classic and Team Fortress 2 guy.
Well, I was, but there was like back then, it was like everybody played Team Fortress Classic in like 1998. And then in 1999, everyone was playing Counter-Strike. Like they just kind of moved on to the other Half-Life mods. So I did play a lot of Counter-Strike. Like I knew that game very well at one point, but again, that was 1999, which is like what's so weird to me. But like I am kind of looking forward to having an excuse to go back and play Counter-Strike again. Every once in a while, I would try to dip into Global Offensive, and it would just be overwhelming. And that might still be true here, especially since it's an update. But having some kind of like it's not, I don't know if reset's the word, but some turning of the page. It feels like maybe now I can plop in, check it out, have some fun. It seems like a good idea. It's pretty bold that they are just straight up calling it Counter-Strike 2. They didn't even pull that card with Global Offensive, and they could have then.
Jan asked me, like, how does this compare and contrast to Overwatch 2? And it's like, I mean, for me, I'm not familiar enough with Counter-Strike to be able to know exactly, but it definitely seems like, I tried to explain it. It seemed to me the audience for Overwatch was getting accustomed to a certain number of updates, and then that went away, and they're like, well, you're not going to get any more updates basically until Overwatch 2. And so those updates had to be like really substantial. And it's not, the people playing Counter-Strike are not expecting the game to change in any major way with major updates. But maybe they have a pile of smaller grievances that they could address all at once with something like a Counter-Strike 2. And so people seem to be more welcoming of Counter-Strike 2 than they were of Overwatch 2. But I mean, I guess, but I don't really know. How do you feel about it?
I mean, with everything else, I mean, Counter-Strike is being rebuilt inside the new engine, right? And all this stuff, and there's like a lot of work on the map. So it's a lot of updates. I think, but even more than that, I think it's just a timing thing. Counter-Strike Global Offensive has been around a lot longer than Overwatch 1 has been. It just seems way less of a kind of naked, I don't say cash grab, but like this, like a naked company mandate to turn something into something more live service, free to play, all this stuff. Plus, Overwatch 2's whole thing was supposed to be that co-op mode that we're still not even whiffing at this point, right?
Right, exactly.
Who the hell knows where that even is? Overwatch 2 has a lot of problems. The idea that they were updating their game into Overwatch 2 wasn't necessarily part of it, although their initial messaging around that did confuse a lot of people. Here, I think it also has the benefit of living in a post-Overwatch 2 world. Well, now we've seen what this looks like when it happens, so people kind of get it. Sure, it's Counter-Strike 2 now. It's going to be a free update if you have Counter-Strike Go. It's going to feel different. I imagine this will feel like more of an upgrade than Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2 did.
Yeah, and there's they are making updates to a lot of those stages. Obviously, some of them are there's like tiers.
There's some of Dust 2.
Yeah, so it's that's still there, and that's one that they are mostly leaving alone because, of course, they are.
Dust 2.
Exactly, but they are apparently going to like upgrade the lighting on it and stuff like that. Things that won't make that much of a difference to game. Things that probably won't make any difference to gameplay. So it's like it's just going to look a little prettier. But just a little bit. So it's like it's still that level.
Did they ever make a Dust 3? Maybe they can make a Dust 3 now.
They might, because there are definitely also new levels in the game and stuff like that. But it's I mean, this is Counter-Strike. I don't like, you could put a bunch of new levels in there. People are just going to keep playing Dust too. So like,
isn't it weird? Just like, it's like, you look on Steam and this is still the most played game is Counter-Strike.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because no one talks about it. I wonder if it's because so many of those people are from, I don't know, other countries, or it's not a young demographic playing Counter-Strike, I imagine. But, so this game's going to have that audience, and it is potentially going to bring in new people. This should be very big.
Yes. I see Christian and Sean in chat are saying this is like a whole new game. It's like Modern Warfare 1 to Modern Warfare 2. I don't see that, but I mean...
Is it?
I guess, I mean, they're saying it, but I mean, that's like, it's a hard...
You say you're upgrading the one game to the other. I find
that's why it's hard for me to like grok, because it's like, if this is a whole new game, wouldn't they just leave Counter-Strike Go as is?
Right. Like, you could still just give this game away for free for people who own the other game without overwriting the client.
Right.
In that case, isn't that kind of a bad thing? Or they're just deleting the old game for no reason?
That, to me, I would read that as like, so I can't go back to Counter-Strike Global Offensive if that's the game I like. Like, I can go back to Modern Warfare.
It's a complaint with Overwatch 2, by the way.
Right, exactly. Again, I'm not a Counter-Strike guy, so I don't know.
Maybe that's right, but sounds weird to me.
I'm gonna get my hands on it, so I'm gonna see for myself. That's my plan.
Granted, I never played a whole lot of Counter-Strike Go, so I'm not going to be the person to say like, oh yeah, this looks so much different.
Okay, Lego 2K Drive looks pretty cool, Mike. Have you seen the trailers for this?
This looks awesome.
It's Burnout with like in the racing. It does look like Mario Kart and Sega All Stars Racing Sonic and All Stars Racing transformed. This looks fantastic. I can't wait for this game actually, and it's coming out in May. Another game in May.
Man, that's so soon. Yeah, that's nuts. Gosh, it's gonna be May. Man, I almost don't want it in May. Freaking Breath of the Wild 2 month, Tears of the Kingdom, whatever the hell it's called. But yeah, hey, this will be fun. It's a very different kind of game too from that. So
yes,
so sure. It's I like arcade racers. This is even kind of leading into that kart racer realm in a way that looks pretty pleasant. It looks just super fun. I think this is a great direction for a Lego game. Makes a lot of sense. Let's go.
Yeah, I appreciate like how they kind of came to this decision. They're like looking around like, hey, we want to expand our audience for like sports games and with like to a new audience. So let's go for like a younger audience. And I'm glad it's not just like, okay, so let's license some Nickelodeon stuff. Not that like I'm against that. Go ahead and do that. That's fun. This seems like a game for everybody. And it seems like they know that audience can be anybody. So they look like they're making something that can be really substantial and big and high quality. So I'm like, ooh, I'm into this. The way that the Legos transform as they go from one thing to another, from like jumping on the pipe as a car, going to the water, immediately turning into a boat, and having the Legos reshuffle, and then jumping out of the lake and turning into a chicken with like rocket power on it. It's really cool looking. So yeah, I'm into it. I'm gonna play this game for sure.
Absolutely, gonna definitely check that out.
Redfall is doing a U-turn potentially for its always online. Harvey Smith was asked about this a couple times, and basically he said, we've heard people, and there's a way we could respond to this and be like, listen, we know you're always online. Quit complaining. Quit pretending like you're not. And he's like, we could also be like, you own a phone, don't you? And then he's like, but we stopped, and we're like, that sort of response lacks empathy. We know there are people in certain circumstances where that actually just isn't true. They don't have a great internet infrastructure, or their lives take them in a direction where they are going to be leaving the internet for some time, and they still want to play the game. So we are looking into essentially, and I'm paraphrasing here, but we're looking into solving this, and we're going to have to do some work to solve it. And he said, I'm not supposed to make any promises, which is definitely like the publisher's telling him what he's allowed to say. He said, I'm not supposed to make any promises, but we are going to look into fixing this, essentially. Now, they're probably not going to fix it in time for launch, but this is probably something they can do an update later. And if that's a reason people really are holding back and not getting it, well, it sounds like you probably are going to get a version of this game that you can play offline, and I think that's great news. That should be the case, because he also said when he was asked, like, people speculated about why we did this, and the real reason is we wanted the telemetry of how people are playing the game so that we could make the game better if everyone's getting stuck on the same ladder. And for me, I'm like, I think most people have made this point as well. You could do that without forcing the game to be always online.
Right.
Just when people do get online, that data gets sent over. And poof, there you go. It's all good.
Trust me, if a specific ladder is bothering a lot of people, you're going to hear about it.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, I'm sure there are circumstances where like players don't even know what's wrong, but there's something's not working, and they can see everyone's failing at a certain point, and because they have all the data, they can know what's leading to that. I'm sure having telemetry is very useful. There's a reason developers want that, even in a game like this, which does not have an in-game store, no microtransactions, nothing like that. They want that data just to make the game better. So, but yes, we just don't need this game to be always online to actually accomplish that. If you just take over the people who happen to be online, that's going to be more than enough data. That's going to be the majority of people, and you're going to be fine. You're not going to miss out on some key demographic that plays the game weird because they're offline. That's just not how it's going to happen. So, yeah, kind of no excuse actually for it to be always online, and I'm glad they're addressing it.
How are you feeling about Redfall? A lot of people got hands-on time with it. There's been a lot of positive previews, some more negative ones, including from our friends Jeff Bakalar and Dan Riker.
Well, no, Bakalar keeps saying he's feeling a little bit better about it, but he wasn't exactly exhilarated by it.
It sounded plussed to me.
Yes, I think yes.
Dan was definitely more dismissive of it.
Yes, and I would say Bakalar was in fact nonplussed. But he was kind of taking their perspective and kind of realizing they're coming from a pretty similar place that I think we would, where it's like, okay, yeah, this is probably okay. It's probably fine for what it's trying to be. But is it going to be a big enough game with enough to do? And is the stuff you're doing going to be able to sustain a whole game? And I'm still real skeptical about that. I think that for a lot of people, it's like if you enjoy the shooting, that might go a long way. And it sounds like in a lot of the previews, a lot of people really did. They had a good time with the shooting. It's okay. For me, that's not enough anymore. That's just what it is. So that's why I need to see for myself.
I guess the thing that looked weird to me, and this was mostly just watching that gameplay footage from Giant Bomb, is, and from the very beginning, what they were making sounded like this kind of Division style game. And they're like, no, it's going to be an arcane game for sure. It's going to be the most arcane game. And I'm not really getting that sense of it. I'm not seeing those immersive sim elements really coming forward at all. So maybe that'll become more apparent when you really get to play it. And, they got to play for 90 minutes. They got to see a little bit. It's
right.
Certainly not enough time to get a great idea. But I'm concerned.
Yeah, I kind of want to, I want to see what makes this the game from the Prey team, right?
Right.
And we haven't really seen that yet. So we probably will at some point, or once we're playing it, we'll see that. Because they did make a big deal about, no, this is still an arcane game, and you're going to be playing it like an arcane game. But again, we'll just have to see. I think for a lot of people though, Snowbike Mike was like, it's good, not great. But a guy like Snowbike Mike is someone who wants to play these games multiplayer, and they did a single player preview. So it's like, I think in multiplayer, I think for sure it's going to be fun, but that's most games.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm a little confused. I'm seeing it on our chat even now. Like, I'm seeing people kind of like scream, no, most reviews are positive. I thought I saw things that split. I don't know, like I wasn't tallying things. But I'm sure there are people who like it, but I see plenty of people who seem skeptical. That's all I'm saying.
I think people are still. It's healthy skepticism.
Sure.
We're not being like, people actually weren't. No one was like straight out negative. Dan was maybe a little bit like, this is not for me, and that was about it. Like that's about as harsh as it got. So not negative, but a healthy skepticism about that 90-minute preview. Okay, that's not enough, and it's not. Like we're gonna have to see more. And again, the positive stuff I have seen is like people being like, man, the shooting in this is a lot of fun. And
Tam liked it a lot because he did a separate preview for GameSpot, right?
And I think that's good news. Tam really likes arcane games, so that's like a really good perspective to have. And it's like I think Dan's like some arcane games, and I'm not sure.
I'm like Dishonored.
Yeah, and Backlar, I'm not so sure, but it's those perspectives are required as well. I'm glad we have that like spread of people like to hear from. And again, Backlar seemed to be pretty positive on it when I would talk to him without Dan there. So that kind of
there you go.
Yeah, kind of helped a little bit for me personally. But you know what? We're all going to get the chance to play this. It's in Game Pass. It's really easy it's really accessible. So me personally, I am continuing to reserve judgment until I actually play it. And I guess I'm glad.
I'm judging it right now, based off of secondhand information.
Right. I think Mike is wrong for doing that, and I think we should cancel him.
No, I think I'm really brave. Actually, this is the new way.
I remember when I was trying to get up early every day, like super early, like at GameSpeed, like 4:30 a.m. Like I needed to just get everything done first thing in the morning so I could deal with other stuff throughout the day. And one of the things I was doing was like, okay, I'm gonna just get up and I'm gonna review games based on these 6-second micro trailers that this one Twitter account posts of every Steam game.
I remember that?
Yeah, and it was like that was a lot of fun. I should bring that back and do more of that. All right, let's see here. Nightdive has been acquired by Atari for about $10 million. There's going to be more if Nightdive does really well. Nightdive, as we all know, that team that does really great remasters essentially of games like Quake and Doom 64 and Power Slave Exhumed and Shadow Man, and the one misstep Blade Runner, which they've tried to make good on, and I think for the most part they've gotten there. It's still not as good as that one fan remake that sort of decompiled the game, but it's still they got there in the end, it sounds like. Okay, I guess. I mean, it's weird because Atari to me just is not a name I associate with wanting to acquire a studio that's making a bunch of remasters. Atari's not like they have a bunch of the kinds of games that Nightdive Studio works on, but I suppose Nightdive is capable of taking old games of any kind and updating them. But it's like Atari's heyday was a time where it's like those remasters are not.
Right.
What do you even really do to a lot of those games to make them appealing today? I don't know.
Although if you got like Nightdive to do a remaster of that Alien vs Predator game for Jaguar, that'd be kind of cool. But like, there's only so many ideas like that, even really.
Right. So it's like that can't be like the only thing they're doing here. Obviously, it's like this is also about Nightdive continuing to just do business as it has been doing. Right. Go out, make deals with other companies to remaster their games, and that's okay. Great. I'm down. Do that.
Yeah, I mean, I like Nightdive a lot. It'd be weird if it's like we're only working on Atari games now. I assume that's not it.
No,
I hope that
no.
Nightdive just gets to keep doing what they're doing. I'm really looking forward to that System Shock remake. I've gone on and on and on about how much I loved Power Slave Exhumed.
Yeah.
So, and I've really also enjoyed their Quake ports, their Doom 64 ports. They even made Shadow Man kind of fun. I messed around with that for a bit. So, yeah, I'm going to always be interested in what they're doing. So I hope that this is good news for them. I hope it just gives them more resources. I hope it's not going to ruin their culture or their output.
Yeah, I mean, Atari's been busy as well recently.
Building all those hotels.
Yeah, I wish. God, I wish. So they revealed Pixel Ripped 1978 at GDC this week, which is a sequel to the previous Pixel Ripped, and I can't remember what year they had attached to that, but it's like a VR game where you're like sitting in a family room with like an old Atari system basically, and you put the game in, and then all of a sudden the game overtakes your whole living room, and it's a fantastic idea. I've always really liked that. They're doing another one of those. They have, let's see here, they acquired Berserk Frenzy and 10 other classic arcade games. That was just last week. Let's see here. They put out Aka-R from Jeff Minter, another Jeff Minter game that was earlier this month. They had a bunch of recent like remasters of different kinds, those recharge games. They did a bunch of those. I should get that.
I mean, look, I'll say this. The thing that makes the most sense for Atari in 2023 is to be a retro company, to be a nostalgia company. So in that sense, then getting Nightdive makes plenty of sense in the world. And maybe they should like extend that brand outside of just pure Atari games, because there's only so much water in that well.
Exactly. And then in January, they had Caverns of Mars Recharged, which is like one of those mini recharge games like I was mentioning. The Yar's Revenge Recharge was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. I think I had one more. Yes, Sonic Origins Plus. Mike, this is a bunch of Game Gear games. Did they, in fact, I know like when this got brought up, we were like, are they going to have the Master System version of those Game Gear games, which is the way to play those? Doesn't seem like those are actually included, right?
Yeah, that's a bump. It's always weird because you can't market that as much, right? Oh, it's the Sega Master versions, even though those are often better because it has a better resolution.
Yes.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm not actually sure exactly, but if they say Game Gear games, I assume they mean Game Gear games. But those are good games. They're completely different from the Genesis versions, but still a lot of fun. And then Amy's going to be a playable character in all the games now. That's cool. And you can play as Knuckles in Sonic CD for the first time. I liked Sonic Origins, actually a good deal. I know some people who are really familiar with those games were upset about like some of the changes. And there were some bugs in it too. I remember at the time I was reviewing it, Tails was just like on an infinite loop of dying and respawning and dying and respawning. I think they fixed that too. I don't know. I thought these were a really fun way to play the games. I really liked the new sort of live system you can have in it where you have infinite lives, but instead of 1-ups, what you're getting is retries in the bonus stages, which makes those way less of a pain. So I thought that was really cool too. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I like these games a lot.
Yeah, and it's cool that this is just a free update, right? This is not some DLC to this. This is just extra bonus stuff that you get in this. That's nice.
Is it? I don't really know.
I think so.
To say, because like Sonic Mania Plus, you definitely paid for.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll double check. I think I remember when I read the headline that I thought it was free, but I'm gonna double check. It's DLC. Okay, my bad. It's still cool that it's cool that the game's getting more attention at the very least, even if it's not free. I think it makes more sense to free update, but obviously they want to make money on this. I think if it is,
it's a lot of stuff they're adding.
Yes, exactly. It's a lot of stuff. I do think though, if they're charging for it, they should have both versions of the game though, including
how much did you pay in Fire
system.
Emblem Engage just to like get some extra waifus on your team and a bracelet?
We can move on.
Yeah,
we can move on.
Yeah, exactly what I thought.
I don't
Sonic
wanna,
does it. I don't know. That should have been free.
I didn't say that. I said it was nice that the game's getting more attention. You just should also get the Master System versions. That's all. You would disagree with that?
Grubb, why do you hate Sega?
Well, because I was a Nintendo kid and I'm still harboring all that hatred inside of me. All right, those are the big stories of the week. Mike, I'm not sure. Did we get any super chats that might pertain to some news stories that we might have missed, or should we just get those after the break?
Well, we did get some super chats. I'd like to say, go through real quick here.
Yeah,
Ariel
hit 'em.
Delgado said, "Please let Christian explain Lightfall for 1 minute." No.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely
well,
not.
Well said, Mike. Well said.
No, thank you.
It was my birthday yesterday. I don't have to put up with this.
No. It's X-Core said happy birthday and gave a pretty generous super chat here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, X-Core. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Steve, sorry, I'm gonna Civilology. I think I said that wrong. I'm certain I said that wrong. Thank you, Steve. Says I'll be turning 50 in May. Turning 40 is just the beginning of your body falling apart on you a bit more every year. Cheers and happy birthday, Jeff Grubb.
Thank you, and I've noticed. Don't worry,
happy
I've
early
noticed.
birthday, Steve.
Yep.
All right, that's it for now. If you guys want to send more super chats, please do. We will read them before the end of the show.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and we got a Mount Rushmore this week. We're doing the Mount Rushmore of remakes. We'll see you all in just a second.
Oh, I don't think I should drink 2 of these. This is very strong. It's very good.
Yeah, see how you're feeling. Just take a little break before you open.
Oh, I know how I'm feeling.
Okay, all right. He knows.
Well, I'm
going to
get some green tea and drink that.
All right.
And go to the bathroom.
Yeah, sounds good.
I should explain light bulbs to you.
So yeah,
okay.
At the beginning there was light and darkness. In a time before time, light and darkness. They played this game called the flower game.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, you're doing this. I came in here to educate Jeff, and you're in here just... Oh,
yeah, educate me. I want to hear that. I actually care about this.
Okay.
So
CSGO 2 is Counter-Strike 2
yes.
is basically a remake of CSGO in the Source 2 engine. Like, to the point that, like, there are maps, like, if you actually check the website, like, some maps, they literally remade them. Yeah. The same geometry, but like everything.
Okay. So then,
different.
So how about this? Like Resident Evil 2 remake? Is it like that?
No.
Yeah.
Well, because that changed gameplay. No, it's like Crash Insane Trilogy.
Okay. So, but Modern Warfare. Okay. I'm okay with that. But you said Modern Warfare 1 to Modern Warfare 2, and I just don't understand that.
Okay, well, the standard is different for PC and console games is kind of the point that I'm trying to make. Like, is Madden 11 versus a Madden 12 different games? Like,
I saw Christian say that, and I think that's a fair point. I'm not trying to diminish that this is actually a major update. It definitely clearly is.
No, I'm just trying to tell you, like, what they actually are changing and why it is a big deal.
Yeah, it's hard to make a sequel to this game because, like, it's like making a sequel to Tetris. Like, how do you like?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I know. That's
have a sequel.
Right, but that's like also what I'm like. That's the whole thing as well. Is like this game is an institution. It's like making a sequel to baseball. That's what I said on Game S today. It's like this game is a sport unto itself and needs to sort of be maintained at a certain level. So it's like it's like as much of a sequel as they could possibly do to a game like that, right?
Yes.
We're not, it's all good. I'm getting educated.
No, we're just talking. Yeah. It's all good.
No,
but leave Jeff alone.
The ironic thing is that this is like hilariously more of an upgrade than like, you know, a sports iterative upgrade.
Yes, that's
but
because it's
still
completely
getting built as an update. This is basically just what Valve does. Like they did the same thing for Dota 2 where they like completely overhauled the game. But
that Dota
update,
they didn't make a big deal about that. They were just like
they
just
make
did
that
it.
big a deal.
No. So
well, I mean, it had a
they didn't
name
call it Dota
and
3.
Everything. Like, well, right, exactly. But this is they're trying to bring Counter-Strike back. Like it's still played a lot, but like they're trying to like make a big deal out of it. How you do? You slap a 2 on it. There you go.
Am I a coward for not drinking a second beer?
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Some would say coward. Some would say smart. You know, it depends.
I shouldn't do it.
I like to see this internal battle. Okay, let me get this game loaded up, and then we'll be good to go.
They're Italian.
Hang on, Christian. I gotta turn you back up. All right,
good job, Christian.
All right. Now do it, Christian.
They're Italian.
Well, now you're getting roboted because you're from Argentina.
I am from Argentina.
Okay, let me get this game in here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There we go.
All right. You got the game up?
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Let me just.
You checked it out, Sean?
Yep, I went through it. Everything checks out.
All right.
Okay.
That's all I
we need somebody who knows how to run a game show.
Hey, listen. I know. I'm gonna have to lean on him for my DreamHack thing I'm doing. All right. Let me just fix you.
Oh yeah, I can go through a spreadsheet and get you some stuff for that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna bring us back in. You ready, Mike?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mike is peed and green teed, so we're back. I've got here a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire : Who Wants to Go to Margaritaville, and I'm very excited about this, Mike. Are you ready to play?
Yeah, we're going to Cleveland on Saturday. Like, we could be going to Margaritaville in 2 days if I do this right. Who knows?
Exactly. And I know we're going now for my birthday, but don't worry, that money comes out of the Game S funds, everybody, so it'll be fun. Honestly, it'll be fun. I'm like, all right, yeah, let's spend some of that money. All right, so let's see here. So, Mike, you know the rules. You got to get every question right. There are 15 questions. They are going to ascend in difficulty. You have 3 lifelines, 50-50. Phone a friend. Have you informed your friends that you might be calling?
Yes, I did.
And then and then we have ask the audience. How have we done that in the past? We just like
So unless you did that one and you gave me a 4th lifeline where it could actually ask chat.
okay. So there was wait, this one, right? This one's the skip one, I think. So you mean ask the audience here and here, and then ask chat? Is that how we did it?
I thought that one of them was like when you ask the audience, it just like I forget how it worked in that.
Yeah, I think that was the actual PC game, but it's fine. We'll figure it out.
Oh, right. Okay, that's fine then.
Okay, so
so there isn't an ask the audience in there. Is what
I
you're
think there is, but I don't know if we've used it
But
before.
one, there's 50-50. That one in the middle must be
ask the audience. Ask the audience there. We can ask chat. Oh yeah, we can do 4. I don't mind doing 4, and then the other one.
We have to do 4 because one of them's call a friend, right?
Yes, phone a friend. Yes, definitely. And you
That's
could.
it,
Okay.
got
Okay.
it.
All right, Mike. I want to get into this. Let's get started. Here is your first question. What is the name of the villain in Final Fantasy VII? A. Bowser. B. Dr. Wily. C. Sephiroth. D. Kafka.
I wish the answer was Dr. Wawi, but no, it's Final Fantasy VII is C. Sephiroth.
Wily.
Dr. Wawi.
All right.
Good question.
C. Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer, Jeff.
That is correct.
Hey.
All right, moving right along here. Ooh, it even like centered itself for me. Thank you. Which game series features Master Chief as the playable character? A. Halo. B. Marathon. C. The Last of Us. D. Canada.
I never played Canada, so it could be Master Chief for all I know, but I'm pretty sure the main character in Halo is also called Master Chief. So let's just go with that one. A. Final answer.
That is correct.
Hey.
That's $200 question. We're moving on to the $300 question.
Big money.
What
I can
is
taste those margaritas right now.
What is the default name of the character you play as in The Legend of Zelda? A. Chain. B. Link. C. Guy. D. Sid.
There's a surprising amount of video game characters named Guy. I guess I'm just thinking of 2. The one person in Final Fantasy 2, and then also Guy from Final Fight. That's too many. That's a stupid name. The answer is B. Link.
And a guy from Free Guy starring Ryan Reynolds.
Well, there you go.
That was your final answer, you said?
Correct, sir.
That is correct.
Hey.
$500 question. What year was Super Mario Brothers released? A. 1980. B. 1975. C. 1990. D. 1985.
That'll be 1985, sir. Final answer. When your pro's born. You were already born, old man.
That's right. 40 years ago, yesterday. Mike, that is correct.
Woo!
That's going to take you to the $1,000 question where things are going to begin getting a little bit more difficult. What was Mario's name in Donkey Kong? A. Mario Jr. B. Player character. C. Jumpman. D. Pizza Pasta Man.
That would have been a C. Jumpman. As much as I love Pizza Pasta Man, I have to say C. Jumpman. Final
You're
answer.
not offended by Pizza Pasta Man. You're
No, I like
tickled.
it.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of it. I wish I was a Pizza Pasta Man.
Me too.
I wish it more than anything.
It's just Pizza Pasta in the Punch Out arcade game, but I've always called him Pizza Pasta Man, and I just get so excited every time I think about Pizza Pasta Man. That was correct, Mike. You're moving on to the $2,000 question. Question 6. Before founding Apple, which video game company did Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak work at? A. Atari. B. Nintendo. C. Ubisoft. D. Midway.
You know, I didn't really know this, but it's got to be Atari. So, hey, Atari. I should learn more about those guys.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
That is correct.
Hey. I just read I listened to a big audiobook about, like, the early internet stuff, but it started with Netscape. So I started in like the 90s. So I didn't get into like a deep Apple lore.
What did I just listen to? I just did a Business Wars podcast, and there was it must have been Apple versus Windows or something.
Microsoft, yeah.
Microsoft, and they talked a little bit about this time when they worked there. Wozniak was the creator of Breakout. He made Breakout, the one-player Pong game, basically.
The game that inspired Arkanoid.
Yes, exactly.
The better game.
What
did Steve Jobs do then? Did he make a game?
Yeah, he worked on a bunch of games and stuff. He was like, but he also was super annoying, and no one liked working with him at Atari. Big surprise.
No.
What disease does Arthur Morgan have in Red Dead Redemption 2? A, tuberculosis. B, influenza. C, scarlet fever. D, coronavirus.
It'd be funny if you got the coronavirus hundreds of years before it had its first outbreak. But no, I believe it was A, tuberculosis. Tuberculosis, excuse me.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer, sir.
That is correct.
I don't think you got that far, but yes, he does have tuberculosis.
Yeah, I think he might have coughed a couple of times.
He was coughing. They built up to it.
Yes. All right, we are at question 8. This means if you get this, you are more than halfway through, and you are well on your way to $1 million. And who wants to go to Margaritaville? That being you. So here's your question. What is the name of Mallow's adoptive grandfather in Super Mario RPG? A, Confucius. B, Frogfucius. C, Frungus Khan. D, Frogates.
He certainly looks like Confucius, and they wouldn't just call him Confucius. Everything else is a frog pun. I think it's B, Frogfucius. Final answer. I'm a little nervous about this one. Oh my God.
That is correct.
Oh my God.
Ooh, all right.
I was a little scared on that one.
So, more than halfway done. How are you feeling so far, Mike?
We got all of our lifelines, Jeff. I'm feeling pretty good.
I think
Let's see.
you seem to be on a bit of a roll. Let's see if that continues with our next question. In addition to Atari, Nolan Bushnell is also known for founding which company? A, Oculus VR. B, Magic Leap. C, Chuck E. Cheese. D, DARPA.
All right, I'm pretty sure this is Chuck E. Cheese, actually. C, final answer.
That is correct.
All right. Man, I have like young nieces and nephews. I can just go to Chuck E. Cheese whenever I want to. I need to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I haven't been to Chuck E. Cheese since I had kids. I should do that as well. That'd be a good
let's take
time.
'em. It'd be fun.
Yeah. All right. I bet it's kind of miserable now. I bet the games they have there are not as good. All
yeah,
right.
they're all like, here's Doodle Jump.
Doodle
just on a
Jump.
giant screen.
Kids just rave for Doodle Jump, Mike. All right, next question. Which of these locations is not in Marvel's Spider-Man? A, Avengers Tower. B, Xavier Institute for Higher Learning. C, Wakandan Embassy. D, the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Play quite a bit of Insomniac's Marvel Spider-Man.
That's right.
All of those places are located in Spider-Man's New York, except for B, the Xavier Institute for Higher Learning.
So you've done a little bit of just geographical things there, and that you feel pretty confident about this one?
Yeah, oh yeah, that game was just so much fun to go around and swing and explore. And I was like, oh wow, Wakandan Embassy, Sanctum Sanctorum.
So you even saw these other ones
obvious.
with your own eyes. So you're not
I've
just
seen them with my own eyes, which is the greatest kind of verification you could possibly have. I feel very confident in this one.
Final answer.
B, final answer.
That is correct.
Oh my God, we're rolling. We're rolling.
Might not even need all your, because there's only 5 questions left. So let's see. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare takes players to the outskirts of which infamous city? A, Camden, New Jersey. B, Edmonton, Canada. C, Fukushima, Japan. D, Chernobyl, Ukraine.
I am very certain it's probably D. I did play this game. I don't think it was. I think Modern Warfare 2 was the first one to have a home front segment to it. I don't think any part of Modern Warfare 1 was in Japan. That game was pretty European, I believe. But I'm not 100% sure. So it makes me a little nervous. But it can't be Edmonton's. That's funny. It's Canada. It's not New Jersey. That's the next one. Japan. I would remember if that game took place in Japan. It's gotta be Chernobyl. The Chernobyl, Ukraine. Let's just go.
Mike, I need to know if that's your final answer.
That's my final answer, Jeff. Oh my god. What is it?
That is correct.
Oh my god.
Well
That's so
done.
scary. That's so scary.
You reasoned it out exactly correctly. That's exactly right. The game starts with Pripyat. Used to be 50,000 people here. Now it's a ghost town. And Pripyat,
Okay.
obviously, the town right on the outskirts of Chernobyl.
Okay. Good.
If I would have put Pripyat, Ukraine, probably the same reasoning would have worked. I almost put that instead. But you would have probably said that as well.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would have just reasoned it out the same exact way.
Yeah. All right. Let's.
I
move
have a
on.
lifeline for each question now.
Yeah. That's assuming you don't have to use 2-on-1.
Yeah.
So.
Now, we've seen you choke pretty bad.
Sure. Involving one of the potential answers in this question. What was M. Bison's name in the Japanese version of Street Fighter 2? A. Sagat, B. M. Bison, C. Vega, D. M. Tyson.
Right. So they mixed it up. Now, see, this is why I'm confused. I thought the answer was Balrog. This is why I'm mixed up. Because I thought they mixed up M. Bison's name with the boxer, Balrog. That's why M. Bison was like Mike Tyson. That was the whole thing. This is mixing me up, because if Balrog was on here, I would have known that was the answer. Sagat is just the main bad guy from 1. He's also in 2. It's not Mike Tyson, obviously. His name can't be M. Bison in the Japanese version. It might be Vega. If it's still the switcheroo thing, maybe the switcheroo was more complex than that. It's not Sagat. It's not Mike Tyson. It's not M. Bison. Then it's Vega. So maybe there was a 3-way switcheroo of Balrog, Vega, and M. Bison. So I'm going to say C, Vega. Final answer. Oh my god. Just tell me. Tell me.
That is correct.
Ah! Let's go!
So, yes, the boxer in the Japanese version was M. Bison, which they realized would be too close to Mike Tyson. So he became Balrog. Vega in Japan, being M. Bison, so they made him M. Bison here, and then they just made the other character Vega, and they moved all the things around. Yes, basically they just did a twisty-roo instead of just a simple swap. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's move along here. You have 3 questions left.
Oh my god.
Which race do you play as in Warframe? A, the Terrans, B, the Warlocks, C, the Tenno, D, the New Loka.
This is actually kind of fortuitous, Jeff. I actually made friends with a then community manager at one of our old Games Beat events. She's now the director of this game. I don't play a whole ton of Warframe myself, but I still cover the game a bit. They even have a convention every year for this game. You know what that convention's called, Jeff?
No, why don't you tell us?
It's called the TennoCon. They're the Tenno. C. Final answer.
That is correct. That's
you, Reb.
impressive
Thank
stuff,
you, Reb.
Mike.
Thank you, Reb.
That's impressive stuff. All right, 2 questions left. 2 questions left. Going into this one, how are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. I feel very good.
I think this is obviously your best showing. This has been very impressive stuff so far, Mike. Let's get into the last 2 questions. In addition to Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, and Goldberg, who was the 4th person on the cover of the game WCW NWO Revenge? A, Billy Kidman, B, Diamond Dallas Page, C, Raven, D, Sting.
So Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash are obviously representing NWO. Then you have Goldberg and WCW. Then who's the 4th person? Who's the 3rd man?
But whose
Billy
side is he on?
Billy Kidman seems ridiculous. Raven seems a little far-fetched. Diamond Dallas Page and Sting could both be true. I think I would like to poll the audience.
Okay. So We have both. Do you want to pull chat?
What happens if I do the other one?
We can find out. If I mean, listen, on this high of a question, I'm not sure how the algorithm's going to work out. This is a teacher website. I don't know if they're going to be like, oh, well, at this point, and a real Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the questions are going to be very spread out, and there's a chance it could be wrong. Early on, they always get them right. I'm just trying. I don't know, Mike, so I'm trying to give you like maybe an over explanation, not trying to talk you out of it or anything. So I'm gonna have to kind of just leave it up to you on what you want to do.
Do the one with the do the one in the game first. Let's see
Okay,
what that is.
sure. All right, I'm gonna hit this. All right, so the audience says choice C. That would be Raven as by far their biggest one with over 50%. Then choice A, Billy Kidman, is number 2. Choice B, which I believe was Diamond Dallas Page, is their 3rd place vote, and then Sting being their 4th.
So you know what? The more I think about it, and like maybe in my head it looks like Sting, but then when I really think about it, that trench coat, I think it's Raven. I think it's actually Raven. I think he was kind of newer at the time. He was doing a thing. It seems weird that it would be Raven instead of Sting or Diamond Dallas Page. But I think it's C Raven. Vulcan Raven.
Mike, is that your final answer?
That's my final answer, Jeff.
Mike, you are a member of the flock because that is correct.
Let's go!
So yeah, it's
Oh
Raven
my
just staring at, and he's the one staring right at the camera.
That's right.
After you're facing each other down, Raven's just in the back staring down the camera.
That's right.
If someone
Oh
wants
my
to put a link to that image in chat, we'll make sure we get it up there so
my
people can see what that
God,
looks
okay.
like.
I can't believe it's not Sting. I can't believe it was
I
Raven.
know. That's why I'm like, I almost didn't put Sting in there. I'm like, well, this is the second to last question. It'd be crazy if
Gotta
it
be hard.
wasn't Sting, and it's not. So I need to put that in there to throw you off. And when you said Raven seems a little far fetched, I was like, uh-oh. But you slowed down. You used your lifelines, and here we are.
There we go.
Going into the last question with 3 lifelines.
Oh my God.
This one you might just know. Despite a popular and inaccurate fan theory, what is the Mega Man Dog Rush actually named after? A. Capcom game Rush and Crash. B. Canadian band Rush. C. Russian, as in Russian, Black Terrier dog breed. Or D. A reference to Mega Man being Capcom's Gold Rush. Mike, this is for all the marbles.
Yeah.
All the margaritas.
So I don't know. Now, here's the problem. What makes the most sense is B, the Canadian band Rush, because everything else in Mega Man is named like after musical stuff, right? You have rock, you have roll, you have treble, you have bass. So that would make the most sense. But that also sounds like it would be the popular and inaccurate fan theory. D could also be a popular and accurate fan theory, the whole Gold Rush thing. It's embarrassing because it's a Mega Man question. I should just know, but I don't. So it's just a guess anyways. We have a skip the question. We can get a new question, right?
No, I don't have any other questions. And skip the questions is not one we're gonna actually do.
Oh
So-
shit!
Sorry.
Damn it.
I told you that up front, but I got lost when we talked about the poll the audience thing a lot. This one would just like take, 'cause then you would just win, and we're not. So we were never gonna do.
I get it. I get it.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yep.
Let's do let's do the 50-50 first.
This leaves you with
Wow.
A, Capcom game Russian Crash, and C, Russian Black Terrier dog breed.
Wow. That is interesting. So that makes me think that the Canadian band Rush thing was the popular and inaccurate fan theory, like I was thinking. Now, can I still poll the audience? I mean, our chat.
Yes, you may. I mean, but you at this point, I just want to throw it out there. How much are you going to be able to trust them? Like, are they going to know? Are they going? I mean,
Well, yeah, but let's see what they say.
okay, you're right. More information. How could it be bad? All right, so I'm going to do that. Actually, I'll do that real quick. Hang on, it'll take me a second to get in there.
My problem with calling someone is I don't know anybody who knows more about Mega Man than me. That's the problem with that one. So that's a little rough.
All right, here we go. I'm getting the poll right now, everybody.
Yeah, get the poll ready.
Oh, that's wrong. There we go.
And then maybe as you do that, because I'm just going to use them all, maybe we can get Turbo Sean in here. Maybe he knows because he likes Mega Man a bit at least.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure AJ and Chris don't know.
Sean did the fact check on me tonight. I'm sorry.
Oh, he knows. Shit,
he
I can't
knows.
get him.
Sorry.
Can't
Man,
get
sorry.
him.
I didn't think about that at all. So you can't use Turbo
You
Sean.
took away one of my lifelines.
I took one away your possibilities in a single lifeline. All right. I'm gonna do A and C. All right, the poll's going up. Everybody, you got about 30 seconds from when you guys first started answering.
We'll vamp on this. God, who could I call? AJ or I don't think Chris.
Sean says he knew it, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn it.
So that really messes
it
it
would
up.
have worked really well. Why did Sean have to fact check it?
Yeah, because I was wasn't sure if the ascendancy of the difficulty was accurate or was good enough, and I'm like, I kind of want him just to get eyes on it. And the Ukraine question, I was like, is Chernobyl Ukraine accurate enough? And he just said there was no problems with that thing.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. That's okay. Oh man, who else really likes Mega Man? Oh my god, I'm so scared.
All right, Mike, I'm going to end the poll.
Good, because I can't see it right
We
now.
had 49 votes. The results are in now.
Okay.
65% say A, 34% say C. So that's 65%, about 2/3 believe it is the Capcom game Rush and Crash. 34% say Russian Black Terrier dog breed is their choice.
I mean, C certainly seems a little stupid and far-fetched, but it's possible. So I don't my worry is, are these a bunch of people who actually know? Or is this just people all kind of guessing what sounds like the better answer, which I admit is A. Now, it's good to know that other people think that. Let's see if Chris Minotti will answer the phone.
All right, so while he gets on the phone there, we've ended the poll. This will be his last lifeline. I think it's smart for him to exhaust all his lifelines. He's getting Chris on there. Chris is likely watching, probably knows. We'll see what he has to say.
Hi, Chris. It's me, your brother Mike. I'm on Who Wants to Be a Mikey-inaire.
Oh no, hey, let me get to a private room. I thought it was called Who Wants to Go to Margaritaville.
That's the subtitle. Don't worry.
I was just telling my wife about it and laughing my butt off. I just deal with that.
Chris, I am on the $1 million question.
Oh, Lee, call me. What's wrong with you?
Well, look, I used all my other lifelines first.
Call AJ. He knows more.
I don't know. He failed me last time.
Now my heart's racing. I might have a heart attack.
Well, look, I already did 50-50. There's two options. Here's the question. Despite a popular and inaccurate fan theory, what is the Mega Man dog Rush actually named after? Again, the question here, what is Mega Man's dog Rush actually named after? Your options here are A, the Capcom game Russian Crash, or C, the Russian Black Terrier dog breed. Now, I asked chat, about 2/3 of them think it's A, the Capcom game Russian Crash. What do you think?
I would think it would have to be Capcom related, just to stay with the history of the company. But, well, I'll tell you, Perry is here. Friend Perry. Can I ask him?
I'm okay with asking Perry.
Jeff allows it.
He's
Jeff
got to answer
allows it.
quickly.
Jeff, okay.
Quickly, though. Quickly.
Okay, I'm coming. Perry, he's on the $1 million question, and it's Mega
Cool.
Man related.
He's explaining it.
I'm not even joking. Wait, I'm going to put you on speaker. Okay, Mega Man Battle Network?
That's the only one he plays.
Tell Perry to get his shit together.
All right, Perry, is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
All right, what is Mega Man Dog's Rush actually named after? Is it A, the Capcom game Russian Crash, or C, a Russian Black Terrier dog breed?
It has to be Capcom related. Yeah, it can't be C.
All right, guys. I think you're right. I think chat says A, you guys say A. Well, I think we're going to go with it. Thank you both so much. You take care.
You're welcome. Good luck. Godspeed.
All right, Jeff.
All right, Mike. This is it. I mean, once you lock this in, that's it. There's no takebacks. There's nothing you could do here. So I want you to be confident before you give me that final answer. But what are you thinking?
Christian just reminded me, chat loves when I lose. They wouldn't. I know that we all have a good laugh when I get mad, but the stakes here, they wouldn't sabotage me. For Margaritaville, come
What would
on,
happen
guys.
if they were sabotaging you?
they would deny it. I would never know. I guess I would get really bad. So they would like that. Shit. No,
Chat does love
I
to
don't
be
think
right.
so, Jeff. I think that deep down they all love me just like I love them, and they would never do that to me. I think they want me to have a good time, have Margaritaville, and have a cheeseburger in paradise. See booze in a blender, and soon ever ender. That frozen concoction that helps me get on. I think it's got to be the Capcom game, Russian Crash, is the namesake for the Mega Man Dog Rush. The fan theory is the Band Rush.
Mike, it seems like you've really thought this out. You've used all your lifelines. You've had every opportunity to find out as much as you can. Seems like you feel pretty good about this. But, Mike, is that your final answer?
Mr. Jeff Grubb, that is my final answer.
Mike, that is correct.
Yes!
You are.
Let's go to Margaritaville!
You won the
Wasted
game with 0
away
incorrect
again
responses.
in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker of salt.
Kiji
Salt!
Inafune said
Salt!
exactly that the fan theory is that it was named after the band Rush, which is from Canada. So I was trying to find a question that had Canada as the right answer. But no, it was actually, I'm like, isn't that dog named after Rush? Like, no, it turned out that wasn't right when I looked it up. So here we are with this. He mentioned that really the only things that he named after music were rock and roll. All the other ones were like done later by someone else. And Rush was never actually named after the band Rush. It was named after Rush and Crash.
Chris is in chat. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Perry. Thank you, chat. We did it, everybody.
Really well done. That's good stuff.
Wow.
All right. I guess
Good
next
time.
time I'll have to play. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll have to figure out where I'm going to take you. We'll figure make a new version of this. That's a good time.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for submitting questions. This time I didn't have time to go and look for them, so I didn't use any submitted questions this time, but I did on the previous ones. This is not something that's going to go away. We will find new reasons to keep doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and things like that. I think it's kind of keeps things fresh, and it's exciting and dramatic, and everyone gets into it. So thanks, everybody. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to reset
I need a
here.
celebratory beer.
Yes, let's do it. I'm going to get one too. Let's fucking go. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, everybody. That was a lot of fun. What'd you think?
I had the music. For when you win, and I forgot to give it to you.
Yeah, I know.
Earlier.
I'm like, I want to have more of that, but also I'm afraid of like the getting the DMCA.
Oh, getting shut down.
Yeah.
They don't care. Come on.
Yeah, that's fair. Not shut down.
Use
Just like
a 16-bit version, like I do.
Oh, that's right. That's a good idea. I'm gonna
that's
go grab a drink. I'll
right.
be right back.
Okay. So let me tell you, in the beginning,
Oh, motherfucker.
it was light and dark. No, I'm kidding. How you doing, chat?
How's it going, Chad? You like that Mikey in there? I thought that was a good time.
Hope they make content out of it. Otherwise, what a waste of time. Am I right?
This is it. This is the content. We're doing it.
More content.
We could start clipping these out. That would be pretty easy.
Yeah. If you didn't know, you can. If you subscribe to Mike's Twitch channel, now you get the secret channels.
That's
on
right.
The
Since we have
Discord
people
too.
here, PSA, we fixed the whole thing with Mike's Twitch and
Yeah.
the Discord. So now if you subscribe to Jeff or Mike on Twitch, you can get into secret channels as well. Which remember, if you got that Prime Gaming sub every month, you can get into the secret channels for free. Pretty cool, eh?
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Oh, no,
Mike
they're
is back. The champion's back.
We did it.
Atta
All
boy,
right.
You're gonna do
Mikey.
content out of it, don't you? Chat wants to see the Margaritaville.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll take some
We'll
pictures.
see if we'll
Okay.
do it this. I don't know if we'll do it this Saturday.
We'll see.
Because the thing is, I get shit faced and I'm driving like home Saturday.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go up another time even. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It'll be fun.
Okay, let's see here. Let me reset this real quick, everybody, and then we'll
Speaking
get
of
back
getting
into
shit
it.
faced.
Is that your third one?
No, God, no. Come on. It's the second one.
Nah, he had the green tea.
I had my green tea.
Oh, there was a
Gotta
green
hydrate.
tea. Yeah.
God, it's a good beer. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I liked
that's
when
good.
I won. Good job. Thank you.
Yeah,
Chris,
winning
so-
Mikey is a lot more
Pleasant.
pleasant than
Yeah.
losing Mikey.
Yeah,
I
weird.
told you guys. That was the saying in my family that my dad coined. If Mikey ain't happy, nobody's happy.
Gotta love that.
Yeah.
They were saying that when I was 7. This is a
Imagine
Southern
that.
tier
Imagine what they
French
say
toast
now.
beer.
Yeah.
They mostly say, "Don't invite Mike."
People love me.
Okay, I think we can bring this back in. Okay. Yep, I think we're good. You ready, Mike?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
I don't know what that voice was.
All right, congratulations, Mike, on the excellent showing and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. But now we got to make some decisions about remakes and which ones belong on the Mount Rushmore of said remakes. I think there are some obvious choices on here, but I kind of want to know what you're thinking, Mike. What should go up on the Mount Rushmore remakes? I guess I should say, for people who maybe haven't heard us do this before, this is about us picking the games that we think are most indicative, most exemplary of this idea of remakes. It's not always going to be the best, although that helps. It's not always going to be the most famous or the most influential. Again, all those things are factors. It's just what are the things that like you just really in your gut think this is the thing that represents this. Mike, what do you have in mind first?
I guess we should figure out what's going to be the Resident Evil representative here, because right now with Resident Evil 4 like moments away from release, the options are the Resident Evil 2 remake and the Resident Evil 1 remake. And I know that 2 is probably a lot closer in a lot of people's minds, and it is fantastic. That Resident Evil 1 remake that first came out on GameCube is so good. I played that all the way through for the first time a couple months ago and was floored by it. Like it's like one of my favorite games now. I absolutely loved it. I don't know if you have like an opinion on either. I wouldn't be upset about
tough.
either of them.
Yeah,
They're both so good.
I think what we should do for now is just put both up there.
Maybe.
I mean, and maybe we could decide later. It's recency bias. I lean towards 2, I think, but you're not wrong. And honestly, that Resident Evil 1 remake has stood the test of time, which I think is weird for a remake. It's
Right.
It's it simultaneously hasn't replaced the original because it is different enough.
It's slightly different.
And also, it is the game to go back to play early Resident Evil. Yeah, I mean, it's like we always say with GameCube. I'm always saying it's very timeless. It's that's why you can keep going back to it. I want to put both up there for now. I think we're gonna have to make the hard decision eventually, but we don't have to make it right this second.
Right. I know we could like poll chat, but I'd be pretty sure they would vote 2, just because I think a lot more people have played 2 recently. And yeah, it's also just very, very good. And I think it's a bit more in that category of reinventing a game, even more so than the first Resident Evil 1 remake did. But you're right, that first one, I think that still plays extremely well to me. The only thing that's really aged, like character models are still a bit GameCube-y, and the voice acting isn't like what it should be these days.
Right.
Like it's better than the original Resident Evil 1 voice acting, sure, but still.
Yeah, it's
But,
just that
I
that
love
Resident
those.
Evil, that first one, that Resident Evil remake is just I think it set the tone of what remakes could be for a very long time. Like it is like this is the gold standard, and really that gold standard wasn't beaten. I think really until Resident Evil 2, and maybe that says something about Resident Evil 2, but I think it says more about Resident Evil remake.
Yeah, I think either of these might be the answer for what's the best one. Although, maybe my favorite one, and I think it needs to be up there, is Final Fantasy VII Remake, which, like, I think I was afraid to say this for a long time, and I'm going to say it here for the first time. I like it more than the original. I would rather play the Final Fantasy VII Remake than the original Final Fantasy VII, which is crazy because it's a very different game.
Right.
It's,
Again,
it's
it doesn't-
only a portion of the original game,
And
in
it's
terms of
like
what
and
story it covers.
it's very like deliberately trying to not replace the original. It's trying to be in conversation with it. And that's neat, but also it is a remake. It is that game again.
It is, but it is really cool how they play with those expectations in some ways that are like really interesting during this game, and even more interesting when you think about what it means for the kind of sequels that this game is going to get. The combat system rules. Yes, it's like technically a real-time combat system, but it's the best way to inject classic Final Fantasy VII like turn-based mechanics into that I think you could have possibly have imagined.
Right.
It's awesome how you can each character has their own playstyle on top of that. Like when you're playing as Tifa, it actually does feel like you're doing this kind of fighting game theme. Aerith has these really interesting magic mechanics. It just plays really well. It looks super good. They clearly just spent a ton of resources into it. Of course, the original Final Fantasy VII had great music. The compositions here, like the remixes and the new songs, just insanely good. I kind of like that it's just taking that one section of Final Fantasy VII. It's the best section of Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, just turn Midgard into its own game. That's the best part of that original game, anyways. And they expanded it in really cool ways, especially in making like Jessie a more interesting character, even adding some new characters, making some of these boss fights is really, really, really interesting. The boss fight against Rufus, even towards the end of the game, why is that so good? God, just incredible stuff. I love the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah, and I think it is like the example of everything you can do with a remake. It is like, oh, you could do so much more, and it's like still a remake. But it's also like it's setting things up in such a way that's like, man, you could really just continue Final Fantasy VII now in some really interesting and new ways. And you can, and you're right, the way that they experimented and really nailed the combat was kind of smart and pretty brave. Like I think it was pretty bold of them to like pull that trigger and be like, this game needs to. They knew the game needed some updates there to appeal to a wider audience, and I think it's underappreciated even in that regard. Even though it's the thing I think people also call out the most about that game, its combat. So yeah, it's a strong contender. I like immediately like trying to like think. I could think of a bunch of ones that I think are probably not going to get quite up there. Recently that Dead Space remake, very good, but it's like compared to the Resident Evil remakes, not quite, right?
I still need to play it. So I have to defer to you on that one. Sorry.
Yeah, I've only played
something. Got a little French toast beer in the wrong bowl.
Yeah, I only played a little bit of it so far. I did finally like really start it on my Steam Deck. And it's fantastic, but it is it's just not quite a Resident Evil remake. Then there's Resident Evil 4 will be out here soon. We haven't played that one, either of us.
Well, let me ask you this: how about the ones that are kind of the 1-to-1 remake or close to that, like your Demon Souls,
yeah,
Shadow of the Colossus, or even that Link's Awakening remake we had not too long ago?
Right. So I mean, of those, my favorite I think obviously is Link's Awakening, but that Demon Souls one is very good. I've always said this about the Shadow Colossus, the one. I don't like the way they changed the vibe of the visuals. It bothered me.
I only kind of get it to a point where I see where you're coming from, but it doesn't bother me. But maybe that's enough to keep it out of there. Here we go. Okay, and maybe one of these needs to go in, because Activision Blizzard was actually bringing out a lot of very good remakes for a bit there, with the Insane Trilogy, the Reignite Trilogy, and then Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Right, so the one I was actually building up to is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. I think the Insane Trilogy is great, but those aren't necessarily my games, so it's like not the first thing that occurs to me. And of those two, it's very easily Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 for me. I think it does a great job of exactly what a remake for those kinds of games should be. It's let's take those classic levels from those first two games. Let's rebuild those exactly how the best they could possibly be. Let's keep all of the original sort of goals there. Let's add a meta game on top of that with all these extra goals happening over to the side that don't interfere with if you just want to play the main game as it was. That they're completely separate. But it gives you a ton more stuff to do in the game if you want to do that. And then let's make sure that the move set is as complete as you would want it to be, as people who almost certainly play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and then 4 and then Thug and all these other ones. It's like, okay, no, they just put all the things in there and it plays exactly how you want, and it's those levels. It is a fantastic remake. It's so good that I've played through it over and over and over again. Every chance I've played through I've completed both those games in the 1+2 remake like 3 or 4 times, separate times on different systems now. I played it on the Switch, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just going to keep playing on the Switch. It's really good. It's the game of those I would most likely put up there. I don't know how about you?
I like all of them a lot, but Tony Hawk is Tony Hawk, and they did such a good job with it. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 is my favorite one of those, so making those games kind of feel like that, but having those levels and having them look so pristine, it's fantastic. Yeah, like, if I was to have one Tony Hawk game now going forward, it would probably
Yes.
be Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think Link's Awakening is also a really good example of updating an older game, being able to stand alongside it, making it appealing in a new, fresh way. It's probably not going to hang on this list. Is the thing. It's going to get pushed off here pretty quickly. But you know, it's even like compared to, I think, like Demon Souls. Demon Souls is like such like an even bigger example of that. And again, like Demon Souls, I think people who are very close to Demon Souls were like not sure about Blue Point's decisions. Once again, about the visuals, that stuff's like with Shadow of the Colossus. That stuff has mostly waned, and only weirdos actually still hold on to that grudge. Can I ask you about Metroid: Samus Returns? Probably not, right? That's probably one. It's like a well edited game. If you want to
do Metroid, you do Zero Mission.
Yes, and I really like Zero Mission a lot, and I think even that's probably not going to make the list. But I mean, we do have 2 Resident Evils, so maybe we could start putting some other ones up there.
Maybe make the list. I mean, it is just in general. I mean, you can also say it about Metroid 2, but with Metroid 1 especially, it is kind of like you don't actually need to play the original unless you are really into Metroid. After you play everything else, play Zero Mission if you want to experience like that chapter of Metroid.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And Cascoder chat, another Metroid 2 remake is a better remake. Yes, I even agree with that. Yeah, so we can kind of have these 5 games for now. There's things like that are on the border of remasters and remakes. I think that we can maybe have some of those discussions. Metroid Prime remaster probably not going to count, right?
That's hard because it is like normally I have a pretty good idea of what's a remaster and what's a remake. That is, some of them skirt the line, and that one absolutely skirts the line. It's definitely the best way to play that game now.
Yes, yes, clearly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it looks much better, and a lot of the better controls are great. It almost does, even though it's called Metroid Prime Remastered, it almost feels more remakey to me. But if I put it on this list, is it about that remake, or is it just about my love of Metroid Prime, right?
Yes. But I mean, I think there's going to be better examples of things that are more remakey than that, and are also just as good. And if we're like measuring on the remaster measuring stick, for example, Live Alive.
Ooh, you're singing to me. Live Alive rule. My only thing there is I didn't play the original Live Alive,
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to compare that.
Right.
I think by all accounts, yeah, it's that, but better.
Yes, exactly.
It's way better.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, we have to measure this one in like sort of a vacuum a little bit, but it's like a game like that coming up being a remake / remaster with incredible, the HD 2D graphics and stuff. So clearly going to count as a remake. And yet it holds up to all these other games coming around it that are modern games. That's impressive stuff alone. And honestly, making it a game that like even someone like me who isn't necessarily like vibing with a lot of JRPGs, being like, oh, there's something here that I was really enjoying playing it. So I don't know. It's one of those games I think we could probably throw up there for now.
Yeah, I think we should. Do you consider like Ninja Gaiden for Xbox a remake of the NES Ninja Gaiden? There's a certain point with like those NES games where they just make like the 3D game with the same name. What is that? Is that really a remake?
That's weird, man. That's tough. That would like, in movies that would count as a remake, right?
Yeah.
But I for me that just feels like, the reboot. It feels like something
Maybe
different.
Reboot is better.
Yeah, it feels like a reboot.
Sonic 06 isn't a remake of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Fuck no, it's not. No. Right, just because it has the same name doesn't mean it's not actually a sequel or a reboot, right? It is a follow-up. So I don't again, in movies that we would call that a remake, sort of no matter what. But in video games, I think we have a little bit different vernacular, and that counts as a reboot.
I want to talk about this because this is, I think, the first time I even ever saw remakes. It was the Super Mario All-Stars for Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
It remade 4 of the NES Mario games into 16-bit, and it was all in one package, which was really cool. So, like, it seems really important. It was this great deal. My issue with it is that now I would not want to play any of those versions over the 8-bit version.
Maybe that version of Lost Worlds I would probably play just because I was more familiar with that than Super Mario Brothers 2 Japan. But other than that, yeah, I don't like the way those games look. Mike, I think they look pretty rough. They do not
Yeah.
hold the same sort of nostalgia, obviously, but just in terms of like what they're like trying to make those games feel 16-bit, it never quite got there. You know, they look way better on the Game Boy Advance remakes. Actually, look way better than those. So,
Is there anything pre Resident Evil 1 GameCube? Like Twin Snakes was around that era.
I was
don't
gonna say
really like
Twin Snakes just so we can not include it. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, not too long after that. I mean, I guess kind of long after that. Super Mario 64 DS, kind of a remake, but
Yeah, but
yeah,
not as good.
not as
you don't have
good.
analog controls.
Yep.
Yeah,
I like that you can play as
exactly.
Wario, but yeah.
That's cool. I know like Super Famicom had remakes of like some of the older Dragon Quest games from NES. We never even got those over here though. So
How
I don't
about
know. I mean, I played the Dragon Quest games on 3DS, and that was cool. But I don't know if any of them are seminal. Same thing with like a Final Fantasy IV remake, which is like a full blown remake. So that is neat.
Right.
But I'm not a giant fan of that chibi 3D style that they were doing in there and stuff like that.
How about any of the like Pokemon generational remasters,
Yeah.
remakes, things?
So that's, I mean, Soul Silver, Heart Gold would be the one.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And it's a great game. I don't want to say it's just this, but it is just, well, let's take the Diamond and Pearl engine and let's, kind of just make that into
Sure.
Heart and
And,
Gold.
not that it's a criticism, but in terms of like representing it on this list, is that as impressive as some of these other things?
They're very, 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 very good games, right? But maybe they are like the best versions of those to play. Maybe we should put them on there. Maybe they're worth consideration at least. They are very good. They are the best ways to play those games. They might be the best Pokemon game. Like if there's like one Pokemon game you should play, maybe it is just Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Sean like missed the start of this Pokemon talk. We're just trying to assess Soul Silver and Heart Gold, Sean. Don't worry. Let's go Pikachu. Let's go Eevee. Weren't bad either. But
Yeah, no, I was going to say those two, but it's like I think Heart Gold, Soul Silver are going to play way harder here
Yeah.
than
Some people in
Let's
chat are
Go.
saying Black Mesa. That's interesting.
I-
As like a fan game that they got
Yeah.
embraced by the original developer.
Yeah, you've played Black Mesa recently, right?
Actually, no. Like I spent all my time playing the original and its
Okay.
expansions. I watched a playthrough of it, which I know isn't the same. It is pretty interesting how they change things. There's a part of me that's like, at that point, I'll just play the chunky classic version.
Right.
The big thing that Black Mesa does is reinvent that sort of last section where you go to Zen, the alien planet, and it does just like completely change that. They expand it, they make it way more interesting, and that is really cool. That's pretty neat. Then in other areas, it is more like a 1-to-1, and in other places, it's doing its own thing. It is neat how it kind of flips between the two things.
Yakuza Kiwami is not something I played. So
I know people love that.
Yes.
And I wish I could consider it more, but I just haven't played it.
Yeah, at a certain point that feels like it came along at the time when Yakuza was getting really big here, so it almost feels like the default, like that's what it was always there. And I know it's not fair, but that's it. Honestly, it's probably just not going to be able to make this list no matter what. Because we already have more than 4.
Yeah, I'm seeing someone say like 7 remake beyond this is wild. It's not a remake; it's a reimagining. I mean, look, it's called Final Fantasy 7 remake, which I know doesn't necessarily mean everything, but it's a reimagining in the spirit of remaking it.
Right. I think it's very much a remake in line with like how movies are remade.
Yeah.
So I think that I think it's definitely is on that upper part where it's like it is trying to be something more, and it's a remake that is a reimagining. I think that's completely fair. I still think it clearly qualifies as a remake.
I saw Resident Evil 2 remakes doing a bit of 2, maybe not nearly
Absolutely.
as much, but
Yeah.
still,
Right.
especially compared to the Resident Evil 1 remake. Sure.
Yeah. Right.
If you're saying Ratchet and Clank to 2016, that one's weird because it's like the movie game based on a movie that happens to be based on the first Ratchet and Clank game. I like that game, Jeff. I think I don't like it as much as some people.
Yeah,
say that.
I definitely.
Give me Rift Apart any day.
Right. Yes. God, I love Rift Apart.
Ooh, this is interesting.
Yeah. Hit me with it.
Is Star Fox 64 a remake of Star Fox?
Mm,
It is. Really?
Okay. I mean, all right.
It's weird. You don't think about it. Like, Star Fox Zero, also just a remake of Star Fox.
I guess you are going to a lot of the same planets, but isn't there? I don't know.
Sean's saying no, it's not, and Sean has been playing all the Star Fox games, so it's a retelling of the same story. Well, what? Is that not a remake?
In my gut, I
John?
feel like Star Fox 64 is not a remake. Like that, in my gut, that's what it feels like.
I feel like it kind of is, but that nebulous state. No, I know the game is different, Sean, but sure, it's Resident Evil 2 remake from Resident Evil 2.
Isn't there
Right?
like? I mean, I don't know. Isn't there like the whole other like tank stage like in Star Fox 64 and that?
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely nowhere near a 1-to-1 remake kind of thing. But
Yeah.
it's like the same beats are there.
Okay, so I think that was happening at a time when stuff like that was much more like that. Just kind of is how games got sequels, right? It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
like
I
Miss
mean, that's what
Pac-Man's not a remake of Pac-Man. It's just because it's like, well, this time we have a lady, and then but it's basically
Sure.
just the same gameplay or whatever. It's like, no, the games were just similar to their predecessors a lot back then.
I don't think it goes on there, but I do think it's, and I realize that like you kind of the fact that you have to stop and think about it probably just ruins its chances. But I do think it's kind of a remake.
Well, would you want to like argue it enough onto this list?
No, I don't. But I don't think it should be dismissed as not being a remake, especially. That's an interesting poll. I want to just see what people say in a poll. Actually,
Yeah, sure. I'll put that poll up there. That's
Doesn't
fine.
matter, but I'm curious
Uh-huh.
what people think because I've seen people kind of trying to hash it out on chance.
And this
Fire-
is like this is the messiness of this whole topic.
Yes.
Anyhow, we knew we would get into these pits with some of these things. Like, so like, is Tetris Effect a remake of Tetris?
Yeah.
I mean, I fucking guess, but no, it's not
Yeah,
going to make
sure,
this list.
It's Tetris. I
Yeah.
guess. I fucking guess.
Yeah.
Is a good way to answer
Yeah.
that. I like that a lot.
What do we do
actually.
about it? Yeah, it's not. There's no
Yeah.
way we're putting it up there, but I guess.
What else? What else did Blue Point do aside from Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls?
It's a very, very good. They
They had to
ported.
do more.
They ported Titanfall to the Xbox 360. Yeah.
I thought they did another one. We've been waiting to hear what their next thing would be for a while.
Right,
now.
but they're also definitely working on something new that is like their own game. Like they might be moving on
Oh.
from they're definitely going to do
Gross.
at least one more remake, I think. But
Okay. Interesting.
um,
No, Uncharted's been remastered, not remade. HD collections. Oh, I see. You're saying that's Blue Point. Did you ask the Discord people about this? Did they have anything to say?
no, I didn't. I forgot. That's what I'm supposed to do. Sorry about that, Discord people, podcast producers. I'll make sure to do that next time.
It's okay.
It was kind of a busy couple of nights these last.
I'll give
couple of
Jeff a
nights.
spanking when I see him on Saturday.
It was my birthday yesterday, and then Tuesday night was
Yeah,
very busy.
throwing the birthday card out
Fucking
there.
I am. I'm a
Yeah.
man. I'm 40.
That's right. How about Last of Us Part 1?
Yeah. What about it, huh? Oh boy, that's listen. There's a lot of remasters that clearly like are very well done. That one's not even like the best of those remasters by any stretch. So
Well, you're saying the word remaster. I think you kind of mean it as a dig.
sure,
They make a big point about how it's a remake, Jeff.
They do they? That's right. They did
Yes,
do
they
that,
do.
didn't they?
They did make a big point of it.
It's not. It's hey, I'll give them this. You're a big boy remaster. Congratulations.
Oh man. Ugh. But it was completely remade, Jeff, from scratch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thanks, Dick Turbo. All right, here's what we have so far for the Mount Rushmore of remakes: Resident Evil remake, Resident Evil 2 remake, Final Fantasy 7 remake, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, Metroid Zero Mission, Live a Live, Pokemon Heart Gold / Soul Silver. I think we can begin whittling away.
We can't have two Resident Evils.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, we can't.
I like Resident Evil 1 remake a ton, and even I think it probably should be Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah,
It's kind of the modern standard now.
This list is going to look weird without Resident Evil 2 remake. It's that simple.
Yeah. Resident Evil 2 remake's the modern standard. It's why it's why we're getting a Silent Hill 2 remake. It's why we got a Dead Cells.
It changed the industry, which I think
Dead
you
Space
probably
remake.
can't say about any of these other games. I think Resident Evil 2 remake is easily the most influential remake of all time. It is massive, and you just can't have this list without it. Resident Evil remake, I think before Resident Evil 2 remake, probably the previously most influential remake of all time, but not anywhere close. Just not anywhere close.
So yeah, how about the push a button to change between the old and new version era of remakes?
Yeah,
So
Halos. Yeah,
Halos, your Monkey Islands kind of did that for a bit. Ooh.
those are like my favorite kinds of remasters. I think actually.
Yeah, but you know what's actually the best one of those is Wonder Boy 3: The Dragon's Trap.
Fuck, I love that though.
That is a fantastic remake.
It's so wild.
It looks amazing.
It's so wild because if you play that original one with the original graphics, which you could do in that game with the press of a button, it feels kind of crappy. And then you press a button and none of the gameplay changes, but the animation changes, and it changes so much that it's like, oh, this feels better because the way he's moving makes more sense with like with the way that he's animated. And now it's like, oh, this game just clicks in a way it didn't before. And that is magical. I've always been blown away by that.
You can even do the fun thing where if you push it enough, it'll act like the transition will stop in the middle. So the top half will be like, oh, the bottom half will be new.
Yep.
Diablo 2 did also do that. That's right. And even still, I think Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap is the best of those. Put it on there. That has to be considered.
Yeah, I'm like, I still think those are probably remasters, right?
No, those are remakes. Those are all new assets. That's a remake.
Yeah, I mean,
Diablo 2, that's a remake. Even the Halo 1 and 2 things, those are remakes.
Yeah, I guess so. If you're completely remaking all of the assets, I guess.
Now they're one-to-one remakes, yeah. But that is a style of remake, yeah.
No, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I still don't know if it's gonna play up here, but okay. So then we've got rid of Resident Evil 1. We still have the same number of games now, though. Resident Evil 2 remake, Final Fantasy 7 remake, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, Metroid Zero Mission, Live Alive, Pokemon Heart Gold / Soul Silver, Wonder Boy: The Dragon Trap. I think Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 almost certainly makes it, but I wonder how you feel about that.
I agree, and I think Final Fantasy 7 remake also certainly make it. I think it's a battle for a fourth spot here.
Right. To me, I really like Metroid Zero Mission being up there, but I'm willing to hear any of these other ones as well.
You know which one I like better than Metroid ZeroMission?
Which one?
Is Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap.
As an example of that kind of remake, it is by far the best one, and I really like it. I'm really impressed by it. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I mean, Metroid Zero Mission is actually a pretty similar kind of. I mean, they do some gameplay improvements there, so it's not exactly.
Well, Kevin's right. The Bionic Commando Rearmed was a really cool remake, but not quite good enough.
Yeah, I like that. I like that game a lot.
I
too.
do like that a lot.
Yes, it's a great way to play that game. All right, because I love that Wonder Boy game. So, yeah,
I mean, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver is that issue I said where. I mean, it's just it was almost formulaic the way that they were just like, here's the new gen engine with like a game from 2 gens ago or what have you. Like, okay, that's neat. Live Alive, I really, really, really like, and it represents something. I almost like that game more of just like it being the game than because of its remadeness, if that makes any sense, you know?
Mm-hmm. Totally, yeah. But I mean, I'm looking at this list now, and I think it's got the obvious big boy. I think it's got the other really obvious one that is like doing so much more with what a remake can be in Final Fantasy 7 remake, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, which is like the best of just like taking old games and fucking like let's like laser focus on making sure that this game is going to be awesome to play for the rest of time, and there's all the stuff in there, and it's just kind of in one package. And then Wonder Boy, which is this magical example of how you could take an older game and make it feel new with just the power of visuals, which honestly, that might feel like a weird choice, and there's always a weird choice on these Rushmores. But if you see it for yourself, it really is an example of how important the visual graphics are to games. Like we always say, like graphics don't matter. Play Wonder Boy, I promise you they do.
Yeah,
it is that's one of the games like that and Tetris Effect are actually the 2 games that most convinced me that graphics super matter because they could change the way a game feels so deeply. So I actually really love that choice.
I'm glad you brought up graphics. What did you think of that Unreal Engine demo with Hellblade 2?
I only saw a little bit of it. I didn't see it in motion actually. I've only seen screenshots.
Everybody seems so blown away by it. I'm almost a little bit afraid to say that I thought it looked weird.
Did you think it looked bad or just weird?
I think it kind of looked uncanny valley. I think what it really was is because they're trying to show it so much. The actor was moving their mouth a lot.
Yeah, I've seen the examples of that before, and this must be like a new version of that. And it definitely looks strange.
So, I don't want to be the cynical asshole here because so many people were like blown away by it. I thought it was the future of things, and I'm just like
photorealism to me at this point. I'm just like, cool. I am not super duper.
Now the cool thing about it was that it was real time, I think. So that's amazing.
Yeah, of course, no. But for me, real time photorealistic graphics, I'm still like, cool. I don't know. I don't need games to look that much better than like the
Doom was what you always say. Doom 2016, right?
This time I was gonna say Star Wars Battlefront 2 because I saw someone playing that the other day, and I'm like, fuck, this game looks so good.
I actually thought of your quote when I was looking at this.
Yeah.
I was thinking of you saying games don't need to look much better than Doom
They do
2016.
not.
But guess what, Jeff?
Huh.
I bet people would tell us that that's a boomer opinion now.
Doom 2016 looks
what it'll
good,
be
runs
for?
perfectly, get 200 frames per second on any computer.
Here's what it'll be good for, because there's still games, even Final Fantasy VII Remake, where like the main characters have these immaculate facial animations because they take time to do it. Then you talk to an NPC, and it still kind of looks like the PlayStation 3 character.
Yeah,
Like,
yep. Hey, but AI is going to come and solve all that, Mike. Don't worry.
yeah.
You think this list is
Anywho, here's
good?
why I like this list, because
Yeah, go.
you have the kind of reimagining with Resident Evil 2 Remake. You have the really reimagining it, Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
Yep.
You have the like very much in the spirit of it, plus doing a compilation, but still a remake with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1
Yep.
2. And then you have the more one-to-one remake with Wonder Boy the Dragon Trap. I feel like we're covering a lot of bases here. Plus, Wonder Boy the Dragon Trap does represent that era of remaking a retro 2D game, which there's a ton of. I think you have to have one of those on there.
All right. I'm gonna tweet this. We'll get that sweet engagement from people who are mad at us.
I think people are mostly going to be mad about Mario All-Stars not being there, but I agree with you. Like, I don't actually want to play those. Like, all these other ones, I would generally want to play those versions over the original. We can see your Twitter and all that stuff, by the way.
You can see the Twitter. You can see.
You
I
can
think
see your screen.
YouTube. Yeah, I think there was nothing on there. I don't think so. It's all good.
I'm just saying you should probably turn off that third screen now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that
anymore.
right now. All right. You know what?
Oh,
Let's-
wait, what was Final Fantasy 14 a remake? JD Kip just blew my mind.
I'm tweeting it, so you can't change it now.
Oh, Realm Reborn. Holy
okay?
shit.
No, but I'm like interested in that. You think a Realm Reborn, a remake? That kind of
It's almost a new game. It's like a new game. But he blew my mind for a second there. Like,
All right, let's see here.
it's 2.0 technically when they make patches. So yeah, it's not, but it's great.
There we go.
I'm sorry about it, Yakuza guys. That's one I wish I could have said more about, but I just haven't gotten to that series yet. I know someday I need to play Yakuza 0 and then the Kiwamis or what have you. Yeah.
All right. Give people a chance to yell at us about that. I had a lot of fun doing that as well, Mike. This has been a good show, but right now I want to know, what have you been playing?
Well, before I do that, I want to say we're really close to 100 thumbs up. So if you can help us get over that little hump there, everybody. And I know how much you all love little humps, just like me. I'd appreciate that. Yeah. So, gosh, I really want to be playing Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. I'm going to get it.
Big thing.
Has it been verified for Steam Deck? Does anyone know? Because I'm sure
have
people
no idea.
figured it out by now. But
That'd be interesting to see, though.
yeah, I would like to play it on there. You know what? I'm just going to stream it from my computer to my Steam Deck. That's what I'll do.
There you go. I've been playing Fire Emblem Engage some more, trying not to quit it, and I made some progress, and then I immediately had another mission that I didn't beat, and I got mad again, and kind of don't want to play it again. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like I really am just done with it. I get it.
Just be done with it. It's okay.
Maybe I should just be done with it. I don't
It's
know.
okay. You had
feel
your good
weird,
time with
'cause
it. Why keep sullying it with the later?
Yeah.
You know what the game is now.
I do know what the game is. Nothing's gonna change, and I'm over the rings thing. I got new rings. That's fine. But I usually beat games. It makes me feel like a quitter to not beat it.
Yeah.
Because it's stupid.
It's 2023 though, and there are so many games to be playing.
There's so many games.
Resident Evil 4 is out, Mike.
Resident Evil 4 is out. I could be playing Trails from Zero, let alone Trails from Azure. So, yeah, it is weird that I care, but I do kind of care. But we'll see. Other than that, you made me play some Garfield and Mario Party Clone for a little bit. I didn't like that.
Yeah, it was pretty scary, huh? That was it's weird
not
how
good.
bad that game is. Actually, it's there's so much stuff going on. This is not even for kids. Who's this for?
The worst part is that it after each player rolls, it takes up time to be now everybody can choose to use their items if they want to disrupt the roll in any way. And it
Every
just
time.
ruins the flow so badly. Just make an actual 1-to-1 Mario Party clone.
Yes.
Don't try to spice things up with something stupid.
People deserve to know what you guys robbed. Sean sharing the things that we left off. All
What
right.
did we leave off? Wait, what did he say?
He just replied in the tweets to show that we left off Metroid Zero Mission, Live Alive, and then Pokemon Heart Gold / Soul
I'm sure
Silver.
he's upset about Pokemon.
I'm sure he is too. The man's always
He'll
upset
get
about
over it.
Pokemon. I'm still
What
playing
you been
Engage. I'm still every time I play it, I'm like, man, this is fun. That's where I'm still at. So, but I don't need to like be like, I'm not trying to make you feel guilty or anything. But
No,
yeah,
you're on hard mode too still, right?
yes, yeah, still.
If you haven't, 'cause I don't know what it is, and I should get that because I'm playing on hard mode, but I get very frustrated when I lose a mission. I don't know why I get so
Yeah.
mad about it, but I do. I'm getting very upset.
So I get to the point where it's clear I'm going to lose. I restart, and I'm pretty frustrated, and that's happened a couple times recently. And it feels like a lot of lost time. But then I start it up, and I'm like, oh, I'm cruising through this, and I'm going to
Yeah.
beat it very quickly. And that actually feels pretty cool. So I'm like mostly still really happy even when that's happening. And it's like, that's what I remember saying. I'm like, I restarted it, and I started playing the same mission over again. And I'm cruising through. I'm like, this is fun. And so I was like, okay, I'm still really enjoying the game. Going to keep sticking with it. Although I am going to play Resident Evil 4. So, and I put this game down for other games previously. I can't remember what it was, and I went back to Engage. Every time that happens, it's going to be less likely that I go back to it again. But I don't know. It's such a big game. We'll see. I think I'm getting close to like chapter 18, 19. So I have a lot to go. But we'll see. We'll see if I can stick with it. Other than that,
there's a comment on your posting of our Mount Rushmore that's just like, what even is Wonder Boy? That somebody else has the big bird singing one of these things. It's not like the other.
yeah. I mean, we get that every time though with these. The fourth one always leaves people going, huh? It's because you're trying to represent so much, and
It's not just supposed to be the four best.
No, absolutely not. This is Mount
Yes.
Rushmore. Yeah,
Mount Rushmore. Yeah.
So those aren't
Abraham
the
Lincoln's
fourth.
definitely not one of the best presidents, but we put him on there anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We can throw that guy a bone for once.
Have fun, I guess. If I get have fun, I guess again by Rebecca, I'm just gonna dig myself a grave and jump in there.
Hey, Mount Rushmore should be boomer picks. All right, deal with it.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, well, the millennials of the time did actually interfere, and they got Theodore Roosevelt in there.
That's right.
But otherwise, it was all boomer picks.
I've been playing Chia as well. Game rules.
Chia.
Thank you, Mike. I knew we wouldn't have the strength to withstand making that joke.
Oh God, no! After 1.5 French toast beers,
yeah,
are you
no chance
kidding
in
me?
hell. It's really good. It is a Zelda-like. It's a very chill Zelda-like. It's like Breath of the Wild. It's got some Wind Waker stuff in there as well. Kind of parts of it remind me a little bit of Beyond Good and Evil, which I guess is also a Zelda-like in some ways.
Yeah.
It's just nice and pleasant, and it's not nice and pleasant in a way that feels super twee. It just feels like they are trying to represent their culture, which is New Caledonia, a small island off the coast of Australia. I don't know much about it. They talk about it in the opening of the game, which makes it seem like very sweet, and the whole game is built around those vibes. And then it's just been very cool to I haven't played it much since I got on this little quest of finding that I had these little maps, these little hand-drawn maps next to my major map that actually shows the island, and these have like little hand-drawn landmarks on it. And the first time I like saw one of these maps, I looked up and the landmark was literally right in front of me, and they were like the chances of that were kind of astronomical. So I started going on that quest, and it's fun to just like explore, find where they want me to go, take the next little clue, go to the next place, and link these together, and then like sort of like scout ahead, and like even before you know where you're supposed to go next, like this new area, now there's new things to find, and it's just been so cool. I love that feeling of just like poking and prodding an island and going into underwater and finding an underwater cave. Like, yeah, underwater caves rule. Like, let's do that. And then I got a spell that I could use with my ukulele to breathe underwater. So like now I can explore even further. It rules. It's on PS Plus, PlayStation Plus. So I think people should check it out. I really like it.
Yeah, I need to re-up my PlayStation Plus anyway, so I can play Ridge Racer Type 4. So
Yeah,
I'll
there you
check
go.
this out
And if you
too
get that,
once I
you
do
get that premium version, you'll get this included. It's on the extra
will.
tier, everybody. So
Need to do it.
I think, yeah. I mean, is it? I guess this could be. It's probably just on the extra tier. I wasn't sure if it would be on the lower tier. They used to put like some games out day one, but this is probably a middle tier one. And then other than that, I played a little PGA Tour 2K23, which I don't know. It's still a fun game.
Golf.
Yeah, golf. It's golf, and it's it plays great on the Steam Deck, which really helps. So I enjoy just kind of popping that open every once in a while and have it around. I'm thinking like I should do a UPF where I just make everyone play golf with me one of these times. That could be cool. Just a whole UPF, just a one round of us all playing golf. That could be a good time. All right, that does it for me though, Mike. I've been waiting for Resident Evil 4. That's the truth.
Yeah.
When are you gonna play? You gonna play it tonight still? You think?
No, because I want to at least start it on stream and not be too late to stream. I don't know.
Right,
I had
yeah.
to keep you company while you edit this.
Yes,
right? So,
exactly. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Listen, you have my permission. If you want to go play it right now, it's totally fine.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll just wait till after work tomorrow.
Yeah.
I can really get deep into it.
All right.
Got some more super chats.
Yeah, go ahead and hit those for me, and then we'll get out of here.
Let's see. B. Traven says, if Mike isn't on his second beer by the time he reads this aloud, he is a coward. Here you go.
There you go.
Too.
Congratulations.
El Grug says, Mike is a coward if he doesn't Stone Cold Steve Austin double chug the beer. Also, how about that CM Punk drama? I don't think Steve Austin was double chugging 8.6 percenters.
No, and most of that ended up on the mat. So don't worry.
Yeah, also, yeah, sure. Yeah, CM Punk stuff. There's always something going on there. With
what's
that.
the latest? I haven't seen it.
Like Meltzer was saying that he heard this one thing, and then Punk got mad and like made a Instagram post complaining about Moxley. It's a lot. I don't know. It continue. I know I should be open to both sides, but it's always like CM Punk sure does seem to have a problem with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I got what At
a certain point,
like
you gotta look
everyone's
around.
the
Like,
asshole.
yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know these people. I don't know. Dan Reichert, though, he's not a fan, and he did work with him. Inu Faye says, "Happy birthday, Jeff! You need to chug a pitcher of beer at the bowling alley." There you go. Everyone wants us to chug.
Yeah, I guess I'm 40 now. That's gonna destroy my esophagus. Please.
Yeah. When's the last time you chugged a beer? It's been a while.
It's been a while for sure. I shotgunned something. Maybe that wasn't a beer. Didn't I do something during the High Roll Hustle? I shotgunned a seltzer, which is
Nice.
actually more dangerous than a beer because that's just all gas.
High noon. I was so you ever ice people where you get the Smirnoff Ice and you hide it, and when they find it, then they have to chug it, and they have to get on a knee and chug a Smirnoff Ice. You ever do that to people?
Fuck no. What are you talking about?
No, I think this was a cool thing kids were doing by the time you're already an old man.
Yeah,
but I caught the tail end of it. But because I drink too much pop, was very good at chugging Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah, Smirnoff Ice. I remember when that Smirnoff Ice came out. It was like the hot new thing, right? Because it was like, oh, it's alcohol in like a beer bottle.
It tastes like it's just like Sprite alcohol.
Exactly, but it tastes sweet, and like I could drink a bunch of these. I could drink about a third, and then it was just acid reflux city. It's like you are going to die tonight. It's like so.
Probably could not do anymore.
Yeah, it was bad
for a bit there. I was very good at that. Burrito says, Jeff, happy birthday, you rascal. Here's some money to take Mike to Margaritaville. Mike, please hug Jeff on behalf of chat, but with no real tenderness than when you murderize his hair. But with more tenderness than when you murderize his hair. Thank you. Joe S says, hello, Mike. My phone auto-corrected your name to minority. And I've had that happen before, too. And Jeff, the Tommy Pickles Grubb, how do you deal with your mortality? Yeah, how do you deal with that, you heathen?
I don't. It's just gonna be like before I was born, and I didn't deal with that either.
Approach.
So, yes, basically, yes. Mostly it's like at this point, it's like, oh, I have legacy, right? I got the gimmicks I got to worry about. So I want to make sure I built a lot of good memories with them. That's how I deal with no longer being on this earth. Is there are some people who are gonna want to remember me, so I'm gonna do my best to like just create new and novel memories so that they can have a lot of stuff to think back on. That's all I'm doing.
I just don't care anymore. Like, whatever. Is that nihilistic? I don't know. For a while, I was real worried about it. And it's like, screw it. Everyone dies.
Yeah.
It'll take me someday, too.
No, sure. That's the other
if that's
right
any
approach.
Comfort to you, like, I also would have the things where I'd be like, up and like, oh, that sounds scary. And then eventually you really do just kind of like, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Shiamiro says Final Fantasy VII Remake is an amazing way to incorporate what we know about established characters and pave a way for a fresh story. I was surprised how many people in chat were like, that doesn't count. I can't think of anything that counts more than Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, there's some people in one of the reasons that people on Twitter said is it's not a good substitute for Final Fantasy VII at all, which a good remake should be.
I don't think that's a requirement at all. I don't think it's really cool either. When a remake, I really like that even with the Resident Evil 1 remake.
I do not want a replacement.
Which is really close to it. I thought it was really neat that I could still play the PlayStation original.
I think that's the job of a remaster more than a remake. A remaster is supposed to be like, this is the definitive new way to play this. And even then, I still kind of wanted the original to be an option, a good option as well. So, yeah, I just think that is a wrong way of looking at it. I think it's way more interesting that Final Fantasy VII Remake is just proudly out there being, we're a remake. That's cool.
Yep, exactly. And you know what? They could have just made it a prettier version of Final Fantasy 7 with like the same turn-based battles and the same exact story beats and stuff.
It wouldn't have been.
Final
It wouldn't have been
Fantasies
as
like
interesting. Yeah.
It's way better than the Pixel remasters, whatever the hell they're called. Nintendo says you should consider Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver for your list. A lot of people consider them to be the best Pokemon games, period. I mean, I agree. I do think they're the best Pokemon games, period. And we did consider it. It was like on there. It might have been 5th or 6th, but I don't know. Just like I don't even know what it is because I realize what I'm saying almost doesn't seem exactly fair. Just throwing it into the engine of the other Pokemon game that you're making anyways.
I mean, it got really close to making it. It did.
Got really close to making it. It did.
Can only be
Almost
4.
there. Almost there. All right, Jeff.
No more super chats.
No more super chats. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. That was a good time.
Yeah, it was great. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the button. Mike, why don't you tell people where they can find your streams and find you on the internet, all that good stuff.
Find me on Twitch and Twitter at Tolkoto. Soon to be unverified, right, Jeff? Let's go.
Yes.
Apparently.
Is that finally happening?
Yeah, they said well, that's funny because they say on April 1st they're going to start doing
Of course.
it, which, of course they are.
Oh, man, I love
whatever.
I never asked for it in the first place. I never, this was when we got these because we worked at GameSpeed, and I never was like, hey, can we get that? They just one day were like, oh, we're going to get everybody that thing. Like, okay.
I mean, to be clear, if the only way you can get it is for paying for it, then I absolutely don't want to also have one. It's
Same here. Yep, actually, take it away.
If you want to pay for Twitter Blue for whatever reason, that's fine. But
but could it be me?
Hey, I recorded a Play It Forward with Mr. Jeff Bacalar for that Alpha Protocol. That was a lot of fun. When does that go up?
That one should just actually go up on Monday. Yeah.
Nice. That'll be fun.
Because I think the one with Rory playing and Bacalar in the passenger seat went up on this Monday. So yeah, that's gonna go up on Monday. We got to find a time for you to play.
Who's gonna watch me play?
That is a very good question. Tam and Lucy are so traveling everywhere for the next couple of weeks. Like they're just gonna be busy till like April-ish sometime. So we need to get you something. Honestly, it might just loop back around. Might have Dan play with you.
That'd be fun.
Yep, I think that'd be a great time. I really want when you're piloting it, I really want you to just make the weirdest decisions possible. Just really mess things up for everybody else.
I would like that.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, Twitch, Twitter, go to GameSpeed, all that stuff. Jeff and I are we're gonna hit up Cleveland on Saturday. Let's go.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
good
time.
I got your birthday gift.
All right, thank you. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna hang out. We're gonna do some fun stuff with the kids hopping along, and then later we are just gonna go to Cleveland. Have a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
Gonna have a good time.
It's gonna be a fun night. I'm on Twitter, I guess for now, at Jeff Grubb. Hit me up there. I'm on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jeff Grubb. I need to be playing some more. What is it? Minish Cap.
It's Minish Cap.
Minish Cap. I'll be playing that this weekend for sure because I need to get caught up on that. But other than that, thanks for watching.
Super Blastex gave it away. That was why I was in the sex shop. For the birthday.
Giantbomb.com, everybody. Thanks for watching.
I want you to think of me every time you use this.
Right in the mouth, please. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry.
They're Italian.
Right in the mouth, please.
Rest in peace to the Arby's co-founder.
Big Mac,
Leroy
right in the mouth,
Redfall.
please. Big Mac, right in the mouth, please.
It's season.